Coventry. You can catch me at Jim Coventry NFL on the X. All my weekly work is there. Before we start, a couple important things. RotoWire has a free to enter $5,000 and a trophy smack ring on a touchdown survivor contest on Splash Sports. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can go to the description, get the link there. Otherwise, you can get the link to join this for free. You got to do it before the main slate kicks off today in 2 hours. And you just go to my X. It's not pinned, but it's beneath that very quick, or the at RotoWire on X. Again, if you're watching on YouTube, you can go right to the description. It's free to enter. 5,000 winner. You get to pick 2 players, one of which needs to score a touchdown, and then you will be all set up on Splash Sports. All right, halftime. If you love field goals, you got to love some Commanders, Dolphins. Devon Achane, only 7 carries, 53 yards. My favorite bet this week was Achane. His yardage prop was 60.5 yards. He obviously needs a couple more carries to get there. Hopefully he gets that. For fantasy, nobody's really getting it done because there's not a whole lot of scoring. Dolphins won't get the ball enough to Achane. Probably should have figured out a way to get the ball more. They haven't. Chris Rodriguez, 10 carries to 3 for Krosky Merritt. It was 8-0 at one point. Of course, Zach Ertz, ageless wonder, right? Leading the team with 5 targets. Stunning. Just never ceases to amaze me how this works out. Of course, Marcus Mariota firing the ball all over the place. Up, down, wide, left, wide, right. Going to be a rough run here. But anyway, we move on. Keon Coleman was going to be a healthy scratch today. If you didn't hear that, that news came in a little while ago. They're going to promote Gabe Davis and Mecole Hardman. So, I mean, good luck figuring out either one, both of them do something in this game. So that'll be interesting to see. Brian Thomas is not going to play today. That was per Adam Schefter and NFL Network's Ian Rappaport. Everything else we kind of knew from overnight. Drake London is planning to play. Calvin Ridley is expected to play. Gee, thanks. Love that one. Devontae Adams with the oblique expected to play. Zonovan Knight, he's expected to play for the Cardinals. Wouldn't be surprised to see DeMarcado get more work, though. CJ Stroud may not be able to clear concussion protocol for the Thursday night game in week 12. And with that, I think we're kind of ready to get to some questions here, and we're right about on time for that. All right, we got some super chat. We're going to definitely start out with those. All right, see what we got here. Thomas wants to know, half PPR, Odunze, Aaron Jones, or Vidal, you need one. And thank you for the kind words. So the thing with Minnesota, the defense is, they're going to send the quick pressure, and the way to get to them is getting the ball out quick. The Bears do like to use Odunze in a little more of a downfield role. So stylistically, of course, Odunze can go off any week because he's that talented, and Caleb Williams does like to get him the ball, but they're going to need to extend some plays to make that one work. Aaron Jones, we saw him go to like 77 maybe % snap share last week. I think they realize he's their only ticket, and he has a cake matchup, but his touches weren't much more week over week. He had about 11 touches, but he does a lot on those. Vidal, it's been very boom or bust. The 2 weeks he played a good run defense, he did literally, 5 PPR points and maybe 6. And he has a tougher defensive draw this week with Jacksonville. So if you're going to play the probabilities, it's a tough one for Vidal. In half PPR, actually, I think Odunze probably has the most chance at higher in a touchdown. He's the biggest chance at a touchdown. Jones has the best chance at yardage. So I would probably lean toward Jones as the safer play if you want the floor. If you want to go for a little ceiling, I think Odunze could find the end zone if it works out well. He'd be your upside play, but predicting touchdowns is always difficult to do. John, full PPR, Loveland or Njoku? Njoku scored the touchdown early last week, but he was really not targeted a whole lot in that game. Loveland could be used as a little bit more of a safety valve here. He's not getting a ton of targets, but I have Njoku and Loveland like right by each other in the rankings. They're very, very close. I do have to think Njoku's getting healthier each week because remember, he was coming back from that little knee issue he had. I would be more inclined to trust Njoku. I have him rated a little bit higher than Loveland, but I do think he probably sees a couple more targets, so I would be inclined to lean that way. Scott, DK Metcalf or Wandale. I love DK Metcalf. Everybody knows that. I've got him at 19. I got Wandale at 26 with upside. I really think that upside tag's important here because I do think Wandale Robinson could do extremely well here. Just don't know what the chemistry with him and Winston is, but I think Winston has no choice. So despite the lower ranking, the green tag means everything. Right now, Metcalf, the last time he played Cincinnati, was an easy matchup. He didn't get enough targets, 4 or 5, I think it was, while the tight ends were getting 17 targets. So I have Metcalf higher because maybe they figure it out. Maybe they decide we're going to get him 7 or 8 targets, and then he does really well. But I think if you're playing for upside, I think Wandale's your upside play because there's a great chance he catches 8 balls in this game. So I could totally see that happening against Green Bay, and he could make something happen from that. So I have Metcalf ranked higher, better player, but again, usage is very, very problematic. So, Metcalf again ranked higher for a reason, but it's a tough one. But I would probably my lineup. I would probably say give me the upside guy. All right, and Rachel's in the house. Good morning to you. Which one to flex? DK, Ridley, or Fryermuth? So the problem here is Ridley's expected to play, and DK was kind of taking in the role for Ridley. You wonder if they realize they've got to get DK on the field because he's their future and Ridley is their past, really. And how close to 100% is Ridley? I saw some limited practices in there. I would almost be inclined to say Fryermuth has had 3 big games in a row against Cincinnati, and they've all been with Coach Arthur Smith. You'd think that Coach Smith realizes, well, this is a mismatch I really can't ignore. And I know that one touchdown was kind of garbagey, that late long touchdown in that last game with Cincinnati. But that said, Cincinnati gives those things up. I would almost be willing to say, take the chance on Fryermuth with 3 straight big games against them and call it a day. All right, next one, John. Good morning to you. Brissett or Purdy? So I do have Purdy and Brissett, and the numbers are a little off because I had to delete players out from the early game. So you'll see like 11 and 13. Those is 11 and 12, obviously. But I have them next to each other in my rankings. I have Purdy a little bit higher. Purdy's kind of he's not only is he back, but he's got the band back. Pearsall's back. Jennings gets healthier by the week. Kittle's been back. And Arizona's down an outside corner. The 49ers should be able to score some points. And Arizona's decent against the run, so throwing the ball may be pretty successful. Brissett's been great, and in the same game, obviously. He's down Marvin Harrison. Not that Harrison did a lot with him. He had one game they did well, but usually they didn't do a lot. But I still think that downgrade in receiving talent, that leads me to go to Brock Purdy. So I definitely like Purdy there. All right, next one. Rahendra, good morning to you. Full point PPR, Vidal, Woody, Marks, or Harvey. Marks went off against this defense earlier in the season. Was a 4 for 15, a touchdown through the air. He had a good rushing day. I think he scored on the ground as well. That's a trend that's kind of hard to ignore, right? Well, not a trend, but a 1-game sample in that matchup. So certainly the team could remember that and say, let's see if that works again. But Harvey's going to be hard to turn away from because I think Harvey is going to have to have some real volume here. How much are you going to give Jaleel McLaughlin? Tyler Badale being on passing, like for pass protection. Vidal, you heard me saying it earlier. In tougher matchups, he's been bad. In good matchups, he's been great. And this is not a good matchup with Jacksonville. I would be inclined to say Marks and Harvey are close. And for my rankings, I have Harvey at 19 with upside. I have Marks at 22 with upside. So again, they're very close. But I think Harvey, regardless of game script, will get more volume. Marks could have a situation where if they get a lead, they might bring in Nick Chubb just to get grinder carries between the tackles. Whereas Harvey, they don't really have other options. So I would go with Harvey because I think his chance for work is a bit better. Drovers, need one for flex. Worthy, Tracy, Goddard, or Algier. Tough one there. So Goddard's been playing really well, finding the end zone a lot. Free safety Kirby Joseph is out, which definitely helps Goddard here. You would think there'd be some scoring in this game for sure. Tracy's really hard to count on because Singletary's getting close to as much work. Some weeks more. Snap share sometimes could be either one of them. And that's it's a tough draw there with the running back against the Packers, who are a good run defense. Worthy's like always going to be very boom or bust. He hasn't had good games since Rashee Rice has came back because he's going to be more of a stretch field guy. Now, any week, he can get a 70-yard touchdown. It can happen any week. Predicting it, good luck. I think Goddard is probably your safest floor play. The boom bust play is going to be worthy because anytime he could break something or they could scheme him on a deep shot and they could connect. So, but I think for the safety, Goddard has been fairly rock solid. Algier, you're counting on a game script that may or may not happen. You would need Atlanta to win comfortably to think he'd have a shot here. So I think you got to rule him out of that one. All right, what we got next? Reynaldo, good morning to you. Ted, or Jawan Jennings. So Tez Johnson, a slight concern with the cold weather in Buffalo. Buffalo's pass defense is good. Abuka will get his. Tez has been great. He's been at least 40 yards every game. I think 50 and 4 out of 5. He's been very, very good. Buffalo's pass defense, I mean, they're not good against great passing attacks, but against this right now, this version of Tampa, I think it's a tougher one for Tez. Ted McMillan's always going to have a floor for you. He's always going to get you about 10 PPR points. His quarterback limits him. It's not Ted's fault, but Ted, I have a wide receiver 20 with the remaining receivers. And Jawan Jennings, though, where I have Jennings at? Let's see. I have Jennings at 23, a bit behind McMillan. I think the only reason he's not higher is because Pearsall's back and like I said, Kittle's healthy and Purdy's back in. So I just think there's going to be questions with that. So I just think at the end of the day, you go with the floor of McMillan and you hope he finds the end zone. Tez, if it wasn't a colder weather game, I would look a little better. It's like 36 out there, and usually those hot weather teams come in there, and it's not quite the same for them when they go to those climates. I've seen that over the years. Drovers, Dobbs, Addison, or Quinshawn Judkins for the win. Dobbs is a great floor play every week. I obviously the 3 touchdowns against Dallas, that was an anomaly, but he normally gets you 10 to 12 PPR points. He's plays most of the snaps. They're a reliable perimeter receiver. Should have good matchups against whichever Giants corners on him. Judkins has upside potential because he could break a run. Baltimore is a little leaky against the run. I know teams are selling out to stop Judkins and has had some success. But I think ultimately Judkins does have a chance for some upside. Addison, he had 11 targets last week, but it's really that quarterback, JJ McCarthy, is just inaccurate. And so as much as I love Addison as a player, it's just the quarterback is not making that pass game click. So I would say Dobbs for a safe floor. Judkins would be your upside play because I could see him finding the end zone in this one. And if Baltimore gets a big lead, which they may or may not, these divisional games are nutty. If they get a big lead, Judkins also catches passes and he could get some slop time there as well. All right, and Big Meech, good morning to you. Half PPR. Chase Brown, Vidal, or Judkins. I like Chase Brown. There's over 100 scrimmage yards in the last 3, one of which of those was against Pittsburgh. Again, with Flacco in, defenses know that he will throw the ball to those receivers, and they've got to play back. And Brown's going to get free yards. And I think Brown had 8 catches in the last game, too. So Flacco actually unlocked that part of the game as well. Chris Rodriguez still getting it done here. My RotoWire teammate, Mario Puig, and myself, we have always thought, why is Chris Rodriguez not the lead back there? Why was it Krosky Mare? We never really understood that, but Chris Rodriguez is a beast. Anyway, that's our opinion. Anyway, I like Chase Brown there. All right, next one we've got Big Meech again. You got this must be for defense. Seattle's playing the Rams, so not so much. Dallas playing the Raiders, and they get overshown back. So there's that. That's really a nice opportunity. Kansas City. Yeah, I guess Knicks could turn the ball over, but they try to keep him on safer plays. Tennessee. The secondary's bad. They get Simmons back. I'd probably go Dallas. I would probably go Dallas here. Geno Smith has been really erratic. Monangai, Tez, DeMercado, or Spears. Spears tends to get some PPR work, and I've been ranking him ahead of Tony Pollard because of that. And DeMercado is interesting, but we have no clue what that coaching staff's going to do from week to week, and it's very problematic with that. Monangai, again, when the Bears games are close, he gets 4 to 7 carries a game. The double-digit win against New Orleans, he got a lot, obviously, when Swift was out, but it's usually 4 to 7 carries a game, so that's a little rough. Tez Johnson, you heard me talk about that earlier. Actually, you know what? Despite the weather or not, I think Tez Johnson's the safest of all of these. I think he's safer than Spears. But it's close between Spears and Tez. I probably would go Tez over Spears, despite it, like in the cold weather game and the passing attack for Tampa. Monty, Tucker, Charbonnet, Watson, or Ridley. I don't like Monty's matchup against Philly this week. Man, Chris Rodriguez just running down the middle. All right. I like Charbonnet here. You always have the touchdown upside. He's very good in the around the goal. And I think there'd be some scoring in the Seattle Rams game. Watson's really hard to bet on. And the deep shots hits great, but that's like the weak part of Jordan Love's game. Ridley, he had the one big game. It was a garbage time thing. I can't count on him. I don't even know if he's healthy. So I would go Charbonnet there. Next one, Pitts, Otten, or Austin. I have where do I have? I have Pitts at 10. I have Otten at 8. Otten has been outstanding. Come on, Debo, get this thing in the end zone. Come on, Debo. He might be in. Tebow in for a touch. I love Debo Samuel. Let's see, that was a run play or a pass. I looked at the last seconds, saw him trucking down the field. I would go with Otten here. Otten, if you look back at his numbers, he has been very involved the last 5 weeks. I think his worst game is a 4 for 40 off the top of my head. And again, it's like last year when he's not on. Hold on, let's see, make sure Debo got over here. Oh yeah, he's definitely in. It looks like. All right. All right, good deal there. Debo Samuel for the touchdown. So I do like Otten a great deal here. Just seeing real quick. So this was a pass to Debo, a little slant. Nice catch. Took him from about, 15, 20 yards out? All right, good deal there. All right, let's see what we got here. Got John next. Need to sit one of the following: Collins, Rice, Pickens, A.J. Brown. Well, it's got to be A.J. Brown. Maybe the squeaky wheel works and he gets the ball, but you got a floor. Collins had 15 targets from Mills last week. You can't sit Rice. Pickens has had a great floor all year. So it's got to be A.J. Brown. Much I love A.J. Brown, the ceiling games haven't been the old school ceiling games. So yeah, it probabilities is you got to sit him. If he has a great game, God bless him, but you can't count on that right now. He's very, very frustrated with his role. Delroy, start 2 in full PPR. DJ Moore, Tyler Lockett, Christian Watson, Cooper Kupp. DJ Moore hurt his shoulder last week, and he played 61% of the snaps, down from about 85 where he normally plays. I think that explained the goose egg away. He did have 4 targets. Against Minnesota earlier in the season, he had close to 10 PPR points. It was like 9 something. And he had been really involved the prior 2 weeks. So I think you get DJ Moore in there. And funny enough, as I'm going to say this, and you're going to be stunned, probably you put him in there. Tyler Lockett led the game, the Denver Vegas game, in targets, receptions, and yards last week. Pete Carroll obviously loves him. They're going to force him the ball, and they have like nobody else. So I think your floor plays Lockett, believe it or not, the old 33-year man. Watson be your boom bust play if you want to take an upside shot. Cooper Kupp, just like I said, he had a big play last week, but he really is. And I know the revenge narrative, I get all that. I just don't see them finding a path to force him the ball in this one. It's not the old offense. So yeah, I'd go DJ Moore, Tyler Lockett. But if you want to swing for upside, I'd bench Lockett and then play Christian Watson and hope for a long play touchdown, hopefully. Next one, Judkins, Devontae Smith, Harvey, pick 2. I think we got to go Devontae Smith and Harvey here. Harvey should get good volume. Judkins, love him, but if you look at his last 4 games, I think he's hit 10 PPR points. Gone over that once. I had 10.3 in there, but he had one game that was over single digits. He's great. He's going to be a star, but teams are selling out, and Browns aren't doing him a lot of favors. So I would go with Smith and Harvey here. Love Judkins, hate sitting him, but it's not him. It's the situation around him, right? Next one, full PPR flex. Pick one: Michael Wilson, Dortch, Lockett, Parker Washington, Shamir, DK. Parker Washington. The Chargers can do well against the slot. So this might not. I have Parker as an upside play because he could get volume. That volume is going to be in play there. So I have him at 35 at upside. Where do I have Michael Wilson? I'm trying to see exactly where I ended up settling on Wilson. I put Wilson at 39, so I put him a few spots behind. So DK, I think with Calvin Ridley back now, I'm worried that in the last game he didn't get much volume either. I think these guys are both better than Lockett. Dortch is really a slot guy, and they're going to have to force him on the field in 2 receiver sets, and I don't know how that's going to work out. So I'm a little bit concerned about that. I would probably go give Parker Washington the whirl here. You could certainly make a case that Wilson has a better chance for a touchdown being a perimeter receiver, which does match up with Brissett's game a bit. So Washington would have a floor in probably a similar ceiling to Wilson, where Wilson could match the ceiling, but the floor possibly could not be there. Because he's a good player, but he's not one who commands targets, even in this situation, I don't think. And let's see, who is this running with the ball? All right, Jalen Waddle, nice catch and run. Beautiful to see that for Jalen Waddle. Great player in a bad situation as well. A lot of that in that Washington game. Oh, by the way, weather for everybody. Tampa Bay, Buffalo, 55% chance of snow, 36 degrees with 20-mile-an-hour winds. That 20-mile-an-hour winds, that's well over the threshold where it could have a little bit of an impact on the game. So that was why when I was talking about Tez Johnson earlier, a little bit more nervous about him. And the cold temperature makes a wind chill. That wind chill in there, I'm not a science guy, but that probably puts a wind chill somewhere in the mid 20s. So warm weather team going there, that can be a factor. Baltimore, Cleveland, 51% chance of rain, 22-mile-per-hour winds. Both teams probably want to run the ball a lot. And Dylan Gabriel throws it so short. I don't think that wind makes a difference for that little dink and dunk game there. But I wanted to throw that out there as well. All right, next one. Ottner and Joku. I think we got to go with Otten here. Otten's getting more regular targets, and he has been very productive the last 5 weeks. Kevin, good morning. You need following in the PPR. Pitts or Schultz at tight end. Yeah, Schultz was hurt, and I think I lowered him on my rankings. I 16. Pitts, and then Pitts is a great matchup, and Pitts is higher than I normally rank him. And he dropped the pass. Of course he did last week. Long catch and run possibility. He dropped it. But I do think the matchup is such that I think that Pitts is a good play this week. Of course, hard to argue with Schultz. Schultz has been a PPR monster. I probably should have him higher in my rankings than I currently do. I probably should have moved him ahead of Loveland. I probably should have moved him up to 13, really. So I think Mark Andrews is usually okay with. He has touchdown upside. So it's close. But I think Pitts' matchup gives me a little bit of an edge. What else you got here? 2 from the following. Franklin, Jennings, Devontae Smith, Monangai, Tucker, Monty. Devontae Smith for sure. You got to play Devontae Smith. And really with A.J. Brown whining, I mean, maybe the targets are funnel away, but Devontae Smith's been getting it done most weeks. And Franklin's getting a lot of targets, but it's a lot of like inconsistent passes from Knicks where those targets haven't translated to production. So I think Jennings would be safer here. I'd like Smith and Jennings in this one. Monty, I don't like his matchup. Tucker, you never know what he's going to get for work wise. And I know the matchup isn't bad potentially for Tucker, but he could get 3 carries. And if you do, then it's problematic. Start Flacco or Mills. Got to start Flacco. Flacco, other than that for game when he was in for 4 games, he was in for 4 days against Green Bay. I think he only got you like 17 fantasy points. He's been like 25 or more in every other game. I don't think there's a world where you could sit Joe Flacco. Flacco is legitimately, and like I said, when I have my rankings here, he is legitimately at the top 8 quarterback, and he obviously shredded them the last time he played him a few weeks ago. Mills, it was a lot of garbage time last time. I don't think you can count on Mills there. Ali Gordon, maybe? All right. Dolphins inside the 10. All right. Who else we got here? And then you have these choices in half PPR. You need 2. Franklin, Mason, Pollard, Higgins, or Monty. Can't sit T. Higgins. Again, not as long as he has a quarterback. And I think of those other ones, I think Franklin would fit the mold there. Pollard's in a timeshare and not getting it done behind that bad line. Mason averaging less than 5 PPR points. And I know you can play half, but I only think PPR. So Mason is less than 5 PPR points in all 4 games at Aaron Jones. And Montgomery, again, not really excited about the matchup. All right. We got a super chat question here. Hang on. And I got to type in that time so I remember to come back to this. Dolphins are knocking on the goal line, 2nd and goal. Ali Gordon is functioning as he's running off the field. Though maybe Achane gets in. Like to see that. And that. Oh, by the way, everybody, the RotoWire has the Touchdown Survivor contest in Splash Sports. If you want to get in on that, it's pinned to the RotoWire X at RotoWire. If you're watching this on YouTube, it's in the description. You click the link. You got to go by the time the main slate kicks off. But it's $5,000 to the winner, a trophy sack ring, and it's free to enter. You don't want to miss a free shot of $5K. And I hope Achane's on field because he's one of the players I put in here. It'd be kind of nice to get that touchdown and not have to count on Genty. So let's see. Achane is on the field. The ball's on the 4-yard line. There goes Achane, and he didn't get in, of course. That was my shot at getting my touchdown out of the way. All right, but you want to join that. It's a free survivor, $5,000. All right, let's see what we got here. Vidal, White, or Harvey. I got to go with Harvey here. Again, in that backfield, he's got to be their lead guy. And White hasn't been playing well. hasn't been very productive for the opportunity he's had. And then Vidal, like I said, the problem with him is when he's played a tougher opponent, he has not been useful for fantasy. And this is another one of those matchups. It's not a good matchup. Minnesota's not a good run defense. He blew them up. The other game he had Miami, I think he blew them up. But the other two games, that was Indy and I can't remember the other one, just did very, very little. Ollie Gordon back in the game, the ball on the 2-yard line, and he is stuffed. All right, 4th down for the Dolphins from the 2. All right, so we should be good on that one. All right, good. Oh, and I had a super chat. No, wait a minute. I got to get that fixed up here. Now I'll get that super chat. Got all caught up with the goal line madness. All right, see what we got here. All right, next one here. Troy Franklin or Rashid Shaheed. So obviously Franklin has been getting a lot of targets. Bo Nix has not been very accurate, so that's kind of hurt Franklin a bit. Not the best of matchups against Casey. Rashid Shaheed, it's tough because he knows the playbook because he played with Coach Kubiak last year. 4th and goal, Devon Achane back in the game. Let's see what Tua can do from the 2-yard line here. Malik Washington in motion. Incomplete to Jalen Waddle at the goal. 13-6 Washington, 6 minutes left in the third. All right, so I just don't know that we can reliably predict a target share for Shaheed. So I think because of that, I think we have to go with Troy Franklin because the targets have been outstanding for 4 straight weeks. And that has to be the break point until I see Shaheed do something with Sam Darnold. That's kind of the way I have to go with that. All right, let's get back to the streamer. Thank you for those super chat questions. Appreciate everybody that does those. Oops, there you go. Try that now. All right, good. All right. Vidal or Spears? That is a little tougher. Again, Vidal, like you've heard me talk about him 3 times, so I don't need to repeat all of that. Spears definitely gets involved in the pass game. He's in a complete timeshare. Vidal is going to, I keep calling him Vidal, but I know it's Vidal, and I can't get over that one. I got to fix that. But Spears in a timeshare, but he catches passes, and that makes him valuable in PPR. I still think volume's king here. And as much as I'm throwing shade on Vidal this week, I think you got to play him because of the volume, and he has a better chance of scoring a touchdown than Spears. So I think that's the way it's got to go. But yeah, Vidal, volume's king in fantasy football, and he definitely should get that. All right, Delray, Prescott or Brissett? I know Prescott hasn't been the best on the road, but the Raiders really have a sketchy secondary, and Dallas coming off the bye, and I just don't think you can sit Dak here. Brissett is down. Marvin Harrison, not that he's used him a lot, but that receiver room is kind of weak, and all he has is Trey McBride. So I would go. I wouldn't even think twice on that. I want to go with Dak Prescott. All right, and then Jay Red. Good morning to you. Need a running back and 2 flex for PPR. Gadsden, Parker Washington, QJ, Tez Johnson, Ricky Pearsall, Derrick Henry, Chase Maple Syrup Brown. I don't get the reference there, but I'm sure it's somewhere. All right. Oh, is he from Canada? No, I don't know. Is he a Canadian dude? Maybe. All right. Let's see. Running back and 2 flex. So for your running back, I think you got to go Chase Brown as your running back because, like you said, 3 straight games at 100 scrimmage yards. So that's a big deal, and he's going to continue to see free space to run with Flacco under center. So that's your running back, and then you need 2 flexes. So I think you got to take your shot on Derrick Henry. I know it hasn't been great, and I know that Cleveland's good against the run. So I just, it's with that group of players, sitting Derrick Henry doesn't work. And then for the last one, I would go with Rondé Gadsden. Quentin Johnson, like, he's off the injury report now, but the way I look at it is the Chargers offense has to be like a lot more horizontal, and Jacksonville doesn't get a great pass rush. So maybe they can get a downfield shot to QJ. Maybe that can work. I think Gadsden's role has been firm. And last week he left the game with an injury, which is why he didn't produce. But I think his floor has been great. So that'd be where I'd go there. I got a super chat here that I got to come back to. All right. Now, Juan Deere, I see that you put this in. Thank you for that. But there's these always are questions attached to them, and so I can answer the question that's attached. See how those go. And I don't have one with yours, so I'm sorry. I'm not. There's no question attached. I won't. The stream probably has 150 questions, so there's no way I could find it. So I apologize for that. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay, Jeff, Tez, Troy Franklin, or Pearsall need one. I know Pearsall's been out a long time, but I do think he's a vital part of that offense. Franklin again has been getting an oodle of targets over the last 4 weeks, and I know that's there. So I guess you could say Franklin has a real reliable floor among these three. So I could say that. Um, Pearsall is a huge part of the 49ers plans. Purdy's back. I do think Pearsall is a good play. But I think your safest play is probably Franklin. I mean, it's been like an average of what 9 targets over the last 4 games. That is hard to look away from, I guess, when you look at it that way. So I guess that's your safe play. I guess in my lineup, I would play Pearsall here because I do think Pearsall, he's a perfect fit for this offense. And he lets them do a lot of the things that they want to do. Marcus Mariota running away from pressure. All right. Delroy, pick 2, full PPR. Woody Mark, Sean Tucker, Tyrone Tracy. I just can't count on Tucker getting enough volume. In the matchup, I know in theory it'd be fine if he got in. But I have to go. I can't put him in. Tracy's going to get half the work. Woody Marks certainly blew up against the Titans last time he played them. I love Sean Tucker as a player. I just cannot count on him having anything reliable for work. All right. Shookson, good morning. Kyron Williams. I assume you mean Kyron Williams. Gadsden, Quentin Johnson, or Vidal. And you need just one? Well, if it's Kyron Williams, you got to go Kyron. I mean, I don't care how bad the matchup is. The volume is bankable every week. So I would never sit Kyron Williams. Obviously, guys know I'm not a huge fan, but it doesn't matter. His volume, his ability to score touchdowns. He can have a 3-touchdown game in a blink of an eye, and we wouldn't even think anything of it. And third, out of their end zone, little screen pass. So the Commanders be punting. Oh, maybe they won't be. They broke. Was it McNichols? Broke a couple tackles, got the first down, moved the chains. 5 minutes left in the third quarter. 13-6 Washington. All right, Vinny, you need a tight end, a receiver, and a flex. Ferguson, Gadsden. So between Ferguson and Gadsden, both are great plays. I'm just inclined as much. I have them like close my rankings 4 and 6. So you can't go wrong either way. I know Ferguson did the one goose egg a while back, but Dallas, I always see them as a team that could score a lot of points. And obviously the Chargers can too. But Ferguson is a real part of that red zone package for them as well. I'm going to go with Ferguson. It's close. Trust your gut on it. It's close enough where, Gadsden's been phenomenal. And then you've got a flex. Worthy, Dobbs, Franklin, Judy, and Harvey. Harvey's got to be your flex. I think with Dobbins out, and unfortunately, poor young man, out for the season, it looks like, with a foot surgery situation. Dobbins, great guy, just unfortunate injury luck, right? But you got to go with Harvey there because he's supposed to be the lead back. And I mean, obviously that kind of volume, it's hard to pass away from that. Also, PPR Washington, Otten, or Quentin Johnston. Quentin Johnston's your boomer bust play because Jacksonville doesn't get a ton of pressure. And if they do get him downfield, I mean, they like him in the red zone too. So he could get something done. Otten's your safest play. Otten is at least 8 PPR points in the last 5 games, but he's been better than that and well better than that in 4 of them. And he has been a real part with those injuries that they have at receiver. So, and especially in the cold weather game, Otten could really be a nice little safety valve for them. I don't think the Bills are going to say, we got to stop Cade Otten. I just don't even think that's out there. Not one of those tight ends defenses are worried about beating them. Genty, Dowler, Collins need 2 non-PPR. Wow. Well, Dowdle's in, right? You can't really question that. I mean, he's been the engine of that offense, and they block it up really well. It's not a great match, but it doesn't matter. He's gotten it done week after week. Mariota, man, it almost was a safety. He got hurt. Mariota's on the ground. Nah, he's not really hurt. I think he just got shook up a little bit. All right, so Dowdle's in. Genty and Collins is tough because Collins had 15 targets last week. And Genty, the problem is the offensive line. And the matchup's great. Dallas is like horrible against the run. It's an impossible question. Honestly, this is an impossible question because all 3 are right in the same bucket. I would be inclined to start Collins because the secondary in Tennessee is not good. So I would go with Dowdle and Collins, but you can't go wrong if you want Genty in there because Dallas, again, that defense is horrible against the run. Delroy, Mayfield or Brissett. I got Mayfield at 9. I got Brissett at 13. I am very concerned about, a cold game for a warm weather team. Very concerned about that. Oh, no, Mariota's still down, so that might be problematic. We'll see what happens there. He threw the ball away on what would have been a safety. It looked like he was spinning kind of weird. So we'll see what happened with him. Well, we'll see I don't even know who the backup is at this point because they're going to the third stringer. So, all right, all that said, I got Mayfield higher. They're going to have to score points. The Bills are probably putting up some points here. So I give Mayfield a slight edge here. Brissett, again, being down Harrison, I think that means something. Even though he hasn't been having a great connection with Brissett, going down to that receiving room, that's tough. All right, we got next. William, morning to you. TD heavy scoring with yardage. Receiver at a flex. Worthy, Moore, Dobbs, Watson. Coleman is inactive here. And Goddard, you didn't know that when you posted this, probably. I guess it's a disciplinary thing. I'll have to look up more on that lately. News is coming in while I'm on the show, but I saw this morning they were deactivating him. All right, so I think your receiver and a flex. Dobbs is your best floor play. Goddard has real touchdown upside here. Detroit's down their free safety, which certainly helps Goddard in the middle of the field. I would probably be inclined to look at Goddard and Dobbs there. Worthy is always your boom bust play. He doesn't have like more than 11 points PPR in a game in the last 4 since Rashee Rice been back, however long that's been. So he hasn't had that. But obviously, if you want to swing for the fence, then you sit down Dobbs and you put in Worthy. But I think Goddard's been playing well enough where you kind of got to go with him here. Could they certainly not throw him targets and get AJ Brown back out? They could, but predicting that. And then DJ Moore, it's just been you got other options that are more reliable. DJ Moore's been a little bit tricky. Mark, morning to you. Point per completion league, 6 points for touchdowns, Flacco or Herbert. I mean, it's got to be Flacco, right? I mean, last time, what did they put up 80 points in that game, the two teams? I don't see how I see no way the script is different. Pittsburgh blitz can't get home when you're getting it out in 2.1 seconds. And I don't see that changing. And I don't see them stopping Chase and Higgins. And I see Flacco just, 23 targets to Chase in that last game, I think. I think it was a 23 target game. That was a 15 target game. I don't see it changing. So I think you got to go Flacco there. We love Herbert every week, but that's probably a lower scoring game. That Jacksonville Chargers could be that could be more like a 24-21. Where how are the Bengals not in a game that's going up in near 30? So I'm going to go with that. Oh, did you have another one in there? It looks like a long question. Oh no, here we go. Yeah, there we go. Good, we got you. I think. All right, next one. Oh, thank you. Yeah, thanks for reminding me to hit the like button. And remember, everybody, join free 5,000 to the winner and a trophy smack ring. RotoWire Splash Sports TD Survivor Contest. All you got to do, you pick 2 players a week. One of them's got to find the end zone. If you score, you advance. If not, then obviously, but it's half a season, but it's free. And to get the link to that, if you're on YouTube, you can go to the description. There's a link there. Otherwise, and the RotoWire X account and my @Coventry NFL X account, right near the top, you'll see a link that gets you right to the contest. You've got to enter in the next little less than 90 minutes before kickoff of the main slate. Josh Johnson is the quarterback. Oh my gosh, he's played with so many teams. Watch them start moving the ball up and down the field. Maybe, no offense to Marcus Mariota, maybe it's good for a strong Deebo Samuel second person. Or is that not the same Josh Johnson? Nah, it can't be the same guy. That can't be. Oh, it's the punter's in. No wonder. Okay, then it is Josh Johnson. Well, we'll have to see on that one. All right. All right, Anna, you've got Judkins, Chase Brown, Rachaad White need 2. So Chase Brown's in. It's been 100 scrimmage yards in 3 straight, and there's no reason to see that changing. Like I said, defense got to play back against them, and free yards. We love those. Rachaad White and Judkins. Rachaad White just hasn't been playing well. Judkins, obviously, hasn't been performing in 3 out of 4 either. But I do think against Baltimore, which is a team that is a little bit leaky against the run, I do like Judkins here. I think he can get some late production too. White just hasn't been doing great. Jeff Simmons playing as expected. Calvin Ridley playing as expected. That's a quick report. So yeah, I'd go Chase Brown and Judkins on those 2. And Delroy, full PPR, star 3. Coker, Higgins, Brian Thomas is out. DK and Christian Kirk. Yeah, wow. So that leaves you with 4 and you're sitting 1. Oh, man. Because Calvin Ridley is up, I'd reluctantly said DK because I actually had the kick return in the last game, but he hardly had targets. And their matchup is brutal. So I probably said DK in that one. And like we said, BTJ is out. Brian Thomas Jr. is out. All right. Drake London is playing as expected. Yes, active Drake London will play. Have him in your lineups as usual. Good, thank goodness. Love Drake London. All right, let's see. Is Judkins worth starting over DJ Moore, Xavier Worthy, or Christian Watson? Flex, TD, heavy scoring with yardage. I think I would play him over Christian Watson. Watson is just, they got to connect on a big play. And Jordan Love, that's the worst part of his game. You'll see the highlight clips where you see Jordan Love hit a long pass. When you watch those games, he throw 4 downfield shots and 2 or 3 of them will be like not even close. So I would play Judkins because with your touchdown heavy scoring, he could score a touchdown. If they get the ball anywhere in the red zone, he is definitely a threat to score. Brian Upton, half PPR, Shakir or Monty. I think you go with Shakir. The slot's been pretty weak for Tampa Bay this year, and Shakir is the slot receiver, and he gets a very good target share in the Buffalo offense. So I do think it's a good game. Monty doesn't have a great matchup here, and it's been that way this year. That interior line's been rough, and that's where Monty does a lot of his running. Like last week, he had decent yards, but he didn't score touchdowns, so he did like very little for fantasy. So I think you got to go with Shakir here. Shakir's in a good spot. Yeah, this is a very good match for him. The outside receivers, not so much. Tampa's been playing well there, but yeah, especially against the blitz, you got that little hot read to the slot receiver. Mark, sit one of these 3: Pearsall, Michael Wilson, Christian Watson. I'm going to start Pearsall for sure, but you got to sit one of them. Again, in theory, I like Michael Wilson. He's a perimeter receiver who Jacoby Brissett's a good quarterback with a powerful arm to the perimeter, so that could work. But we don't really know if there's chemistry there. Wilson is an okay player, but he's not lights out. Oh my gosh, what a terrible throw by 2 under double coverage. Should have been intercepted. I just threw shade on Watson, but I think I'd be inclined to trust Watson more than Michael Wilson. And the 49ers, I assume Lenoir is playing, and I assume Lenoir can handle him. So it might not be easy windows to throw in. So it's close. I'd give Watson the edge over Wilson. Michael, good morning to you. Appreciate you. Thank you so much, Michael. Always love having you around here, supporting us, keeping up with these shows. Disco Dave, good morning. Should you start Woody Marks or Jamison Williams? So Jamison Williams has been very good in 3 of the last 4 games. Last week, Dan Campbell took over the play calling, and we saw like 116 yards, top of my head, and a touchdown. So it was good. Here's the problem this week. No Sam Laporta, one less weapon for Philly to worry about. But the other thing is Vic Fangio's defense, the whole premise is to limit explosive plays. So they're very good at protecting the shell over the top, and that's where Jamison Williams likes to live. Woody Marks went off against Tennessee last time. 50 receiving yards and a touchdown. I can't remember his rushing yards, but he had a touchdown on the ground. I think we're going to roll with that. And I know Jamo's, but I trust your gut on this one, Dave. Definitely trust your gut. If your gut says to go with him, then you definitely do that. But yeah, I think otherwise, I got to go with Woody Marks with that huge game against them last time and saying what's going to be different this time. Should you trade Jaden Daniels and Caleb for Lamar? Yes. Lamar's getting healthier by the week. He hasn't been running, and that's the reason why you probably can acquire him and trade. But that hamstring's got to get better every week, and they haven't pushed him yet. But yes, and it could be as soon as this week, but if not, it's got to be really soon they turn him loose as a runner. And I know Caleb's been great, but when can you count on him? And Jaden Daniels, in the games he played, he only had like one what I would consider a big game. And I know he'd been beat up all year. So yeah, no, I think you get Lamar, because I think it's going to be much better days for Lamar down the stretch. They're going to figure some things out. Let's got a super chat question here. Let me just switch this out and pick my mark over there. All right, get to the super chat. All right, Wendier, thank you for retyping in that question. I appreciate you for that. Start to ETN Swift, Devontae Smith, or Judkins. Really hard to sit Devontae Smith right now. And, Swift actually has a good matchup. Minnesota is not a good run defense. They've been very league, and the Bears' run blocking has been exceptional. This is a very tough call, of course, which is why you put this in here. Devontae Smith is really hard to bench right now. He has been very productive. Is there a chance that A.J. Brown is a squeaky wheel and they decide just to force feed in the ball? Yeah, that could happen. And but we don't know that, and it's been a case where Devontae's been productive. Judkins, it's been 3 rough weeks out of 4. I'm making a case for him, but it's hard to do that. And ETN, again, has been great the last 2 weeks, and he found the end zone last week. But, it's hard to count on it because that offense has not been consistent. So I think Swift and Devontae Smith have been reasonably heavily involved in their offenses. And I think because of that, you go with that. ETN's close. I just don't know who I'd sit for him because Swift has been playing really well. And ETN gives us some carries to Bashal Tootin, just like Swift gives us some carries to Monungai. Great question. Yeah, it's got to be Swift and Devontae for me. All right, let me get back to the stream here. 54. All right, here we go. And there we go. All right, Michael, let's see what we got here. You got Flacco. Whoops, hang on a second. Flacco or McCarthy. To me, it's not close. Joe Flacco is a top 8 option. JJ McCarthy has gotten fantasy numbers. I get it. But and I get it. They're playing the Bears, who aren't the best. But I believe the coaching staff in Minnesota Kevin O'Connell realizes they've got to try to keep the game conservative because the more they put in their quarterback's hands, he's a problem. And I know he won a game, but it's a problem. So Joe Flacco, he's going to be in a shootout. He's going to throw. He's got superstar weapons. And I just don't think we overthink it. He has been fantasy gold. Again, other than that Green Bay game when he's in the house for 4 days, and he was still good in that game, but he's been money the last 3 games. J-Mo or Quentin Johnston? Yeah, this is a tough one. I talked about J-Mo a minute ago. You heard me talk about him, and I don't like the matchup against Fangio's defense that limits explosives. But Quentin Johnston, he's off the injury report. He is really boomer bust himself. So in this case, I think we default to the better player. I think we go with the better player. It was Jameson Williams, and we hope that he gets enough done. They both could score touchdowns. Good luck predicting which one it is, right? But I do think you go with the better player when you have a situation like this where this situations are fairly equal. All right. And then, Dortch or Gainwell. So Gainwell, deep league. I started Gainwell last week, super deep league. And the game script didn't work its way. Game script has to work for Gainwell to work. So I don't know. Dortch should get 5 targets here. He should. I know he's a slot receiver, but they're going to have to play him in 2 receiver sets, I think, a lot. So I'm going to give Dortch the edge here because I think he has to get 5 targets. And if he gets 5 targets, he actually is a good player. He just doesn't get many opportunities. So I'd give Dortch the edge there. J-Mo or Wandale? I got to go with Wandale here. Wandale, I have the upside tag. I got J-Mo ahead of him. I underranked Wandale. I really underranked Wandale. Put it this way. I'm going to put it this way. They actually have similar upside because Wandale could go off here. Wandale could go off. So I think Wandale's floor is so much safer. So I probably need to rank Wandale a lot higher than I did. I probably need to rank Wandale at like 19. That's probably where I should have put him. I should have put him at 19. I'm going with Wandale there. Yeah, I underranked him. I go back and forth on these things a lot. A.J. Brown, Pickens, and Odunze. I get the dilemma. I just think the A.J. Brown, the off the field stuff last week, that could go either way. That could be like a feed him, or that could be forget him. And I don't know which it is. So if you're a big underdog, I would probably play him over Pickens if you're a big underdog, because if they do decide to feed him and you get it, you might hit the jackpot. But I think if you're anywhere in a close game, you're projected in a close game, or maybe you're already projected to win, then I think you almost have to go the other way. Oh my God, Achane actually broke that run into positive. He was like beat for like a 6-yard loss, and he got like a 7 or 8 yard gain out of that. What a beast. Love Devon Achane. Oh, that was a pass, I think. Okay. So I would say A.J. Brown again. Otherwise, if you think they're going to feed him, and like, nobody knows. So in that case, you would play Pickens if you're worried they're going to just freeze him out. All right. Next one. Pedro. Good morning to you. Dak or Herbert? It's close. I got him 6 and 7. I put Herbert a spot ahead because he runs so darn much. It's been great seeing with that rushing ability. And I do think he's safer as well. So I think that's definitely something to look at. But they're side by side. So to me, it's a coin flip. It could go either way. Dallas is on the road, which for Dak, he's had some of his less impressive games on the road. And I know that Arizona game was a clunker at home. So it's an eyelash to Justin Herbert. It's an eyelash. But it really is a coin flip. Like you're in the meeting on your question. It's a coin flip for you as well. I guess your tiebreaker is there's a great chance Dallas could score a lot of points here against the Raiders, coming off on bye week, coming off a real embarrassing, disappointing loss. So I do think that that's in the range for you. So all right. I'll tell you this: I have them 4 and 5 as my lineup, or 6 and 7. I'm starting Dak. I'm a Dak guy. So just full disclosure on that. All right, what we got next? Good morning to you. And what we got here? Picked up Dortch, started him. Shepard, Kirk, or no. I think Dortch is reasonable over those 3. Kirk's gotten targets, but hasn't really got anything done. Jalen Noel, we have no idea if he will get targets, and if so, how many. Davis Mills wisely has eyes for Nico Collins, which is the thing to do. Come on, Achan, get this in. Oh, he said a 1 yard. I got him in the RotoWire touchdown survivor contest that goes off in an hour. I need Achan to get this touchdown, and you can win $5,000 in a Trophy Smack ring if you enter the free RotoWire touchdown survivor on Splash Sports. You want to join that? If you're on YouTube right now, go to the link or wherever the description, and it's in there. Otherwise, if you want the link to join for free, you go to RotoWire X. It's there. I might at Jim Coventry NFL and X. It's there as well. I need Achan to score a touchdown. All right. So let's see what we got here. All right. Did I answer? So, yeah. So I would go with him. There. Sterling Shepard's really tough to cut. Mayfield or Brissett. Again, these are all tough. And of course, Ollie Gordon gets a touchdown. That means I'm going to need Ashton Genty to score one for me. Oh, fantasy manager with Achan. I'm going to be really disappointed with that. All right. So yeah, I think we got to go with Mayfield. I don't like the cold weather. I don't like the 20-mile-an-hour winds that are expected in Buffalo. Don't like any of that. But Brissett is without Marvin Harrison, and that has to mean something, right? And the 49ers defense is not a juggernaut, but they're well disciplined. And if they figure out a way to slow down Trey McBride, it could be a problem. So I would just ride with Baker here. Mark, Tez, Judkins, Michael Wilson, you flex one. McMillan's your floor guy. I probably would trust him over the rest. I'd like to say Judkins, but 3 out of 4 games, he hasn't really gotten there. So Judkins be the most likely of the 4 to score a touchdown, but Tet's the most likely to get you double-digit points. Flacco or Mahomes. Surtain's out. Kansas City had a week off. We know Reed game plans really well when he has extra time to look at an opponent. And Josh Simmons, the left tackle, is back. That's huge for Mahomes. That's huge. They were without him the last few weeks. Huge to have him back. And you know what? Trust your gut on it for sure, because Flacco could put up 35. And I wouldn't even blink if he put up 35 for you. But you got a good problem to have. But Mahomes has been playing great other than the last game. But I would go with Mahomes. But if your gut says Flacco, absolutely trust your gut, because Flacco could throw 5 touchdowns. And it wouldn't stun me for a second if he threw 5 touchdowns against Pittsburgh. Flacco or Purdy. Well, this one's Flacco. Because McCaffrey could have a couple of the touchdowns for San Francisco, whereas I think Flacco does most of the lifting in this one. So I go Flacco there. Next one, Montgomery or Singletary, extra points for first downs and 40-yard plays. Don't like Montgomery's matchup, but I don't like Singletary's matchup either. I think Montgomery ends up getting slightly more volume than Singletary. So I give Montgomery the slight edge on that. And I have Montgomery significantly higher in my rankings, but I don't like the matchup for either. But I will give Montgomery the edge. And he could break a long run. We've seen that happen. Where Singletary, I don't know that happens. Woody Marks or Kimani Vidal. Vidal's a nice floor play. Woody Marks, I have him 20 and 22. Vidal at 20. Marks have with the upside arrow at 22. So Vidal should have more bankable volume, but he's been bad against the 2 run defense that were good he faced. Whereas Marks destroyed this Tennessee defense a number of weeks back. I mean, it was a mass. It was 27 PPR points. I just think it's really hard to ignore that he did that to them. So I think we look at that, and maybe that's the way we go there. Ball Maniac, thank you for the kind words. Really appreciate you. Receiver, flex, and a tight end. Washington, Kirk, DK, DeMercado, Spears, Sean Tucker, Aranda, Gadsden, Ferguson. A receiver, a flex, and a tight end. So I think I like both Gadsden and Ferguson here. I think I definitely like those both as your plays. And then for the third one, I think the safest of the rest is Parker Washington. Don't really love his slot matchup this week, but he's been getting the volume last 2 weeks. So I think he's your floor play out of that. The boom bust, DeMercado seems to break up a big play every week, but it's really hard to count on that. So he might be the boom bust guy, but I think Parker Washington's safe enough. He's found the end zone recently too. So yeah, Gadsden, Ferguson, and Parker Washington would probably be the calls for me on that. Jim Coop, I don't see the rest of the question though. So I don't know. So I don't know what the rest of that question is. All right, let's see here. So we got 12-29 in the game, 13-13. Mariota's back in. It looks like they're getting Krosky Merritt a little bit of work finally. And like I said, Chris Rodriguez was a beast. All right. Myers, Pearsall, or Wilson, pick 2. Hard to know what Jacoby Myers rolls me. He did have a touchdown last week. Got called back on a penalty, and then Parker Washington scored in the next play. So they did get Myers the ball. I imagine a week of practice, he's going to be a big part of that offense. I have to think he is. No Brian Thomas Jr. They're going to need him. Pearsall's in, I think. I think if you waited this long for him, he's a really good player. They waited till he was healthy. Between Myers and Wilson, again, I like Wilson's stylistic matchup with Brissett, a perimeter receiver with a strong arm thrower. But I think Wilson has limitations, and I think his corner matchup might not be great. So I would tend to go with Myers and Pearsall here. All right, see what we got next. Willie, Standard, Harvey, or Flowers? I think Harvey has to get a lot of volume here. Flowers is going to face a man coverage heavy defense with good enough corners. I think Baltimore is going to play a bit more conservatively here. I think they're going to be able to have success just kind of grinding out a win and pasting them on the scoreboard and just kind of slow things down. I think Harvey's likely volume as a potentially a 3-down back, right? I know Badeo plays on passing downs for protection, but I think Harvey still plays a lot of passing downs. So I'd go with Harvey there. Michael Wilson or Pearsall. Yeah, somebody had that in the 3-part question. Somebody had that too. Again, I'm gonna default to Pearsall here. He is a big part of what the 49ers wanted to do. Their playbook gets opened back up with him in it because there are things he did that the backups couldn't do. Dobbs or Jennings. Really close on this one. See where I have him on the rank. I got to have Jennings a little bit higher. Let's see, I have Jennings at 23 and I got Dobbs at 32, but they're in a kind of a similar bucket. They're both really nice PPR plays for sure. So I think Dobbs has a nice safe floor, but I think Jennings has a similar floor. I would probably put the edge of Jennings here. Go with my rankings on that too. He's a really good player. They both are, but let me get my earbud in and then we'll get James Koh in here. All right, let me get my earbuds in so I could hear you this week, James.
What's up, pal? How you doing?
Welcome in.
Man. It's good to be here and just watching some London stuff, and man, we're getting going.
And of course, I had Devon Achane in the RotoWire touchdown survivor contest, and Ollie Gordon gets a short touchdown. Oh, I pull my hair out, but I don't have any, so I have no options there.
Hey, by the way, the Ollie Gordon thing's pretty important because last week he got kind of sort of froze out of that offense. Maybe it was a coaching thing because he yelled back at the running backs coach, but yeah, because we saw some more Jalen, Jalen Wright in that game last week. So this is kind of an important development.
Yeah, so let's answer this question, then we'll get to the inactives and report on those. Let's take a look here. Full PPR, need one for a flex. Rachaad White, Jordan Addison, Oronde Gadsden, or Rashid Shaheed?
Look, I don't think we're ready to play Shaheed yet. For me, I think Rachaad White is probably your safest play. Jim, I want to get your take here on Sean Tucker because a lot of folks are feeling really confident about Tucker this week. He got more carries than Rashad White last week, but when you look at the snap share, it's pretty much the same. Right, like it was still a 65-35 split.
Yep.
I think he could easily go back to a 70-30 split like we've seen this week as well. So I'm off of Sean Tucker, but I know a lot of folks are very, thinking that Sean Tucker might get even more work this week, and I just wasn't sure about that.
I have told everybody no on Sean Tucker, and my reason was I cannot count on him having a workload. Cannot count on it.
Right.
Games are week-to-week propositions for marginal players. And I think talent-wise, he's not a marginal player, but the team, by their actions, have shown us he's a marginal player to them. And for that, when you have other options of players that I know they're getting 8 to 10 touches, I can't play Tucker over them. If it's over these players that are going to only get 3 to 5 touches, in that bucket, fine. He has touchdown upside. I am not recommending Tucker this week at all, James.
Yeah, I'm with you. So I wanted to get your thoughts on it because, and hearing you say that makes me feel a lot better about my thoughts, which is just, I thought I was a crazy person. I'm like, wait, hold on. Like, I don't get it. It's not like he saw more play time,
Right. And that's the thing, James. People are box score hunting, and I get it, but you see what the reality is. Snap share means a ton.
Yeah.
So finish that question. Did you give the start?
Yeah. I'm going Rashad White right here. With Jordan Addison, I think he's got the most upside. But again, it's really hard to trust JJ McCarthy and Arande Gadsden. I really like him too, but I just think because of the competition for targets there in LA, I think it's a week by week proposition for him. I know he's been really, really good. But again, I actually think this is a QJ game for me this week.
Well, we got a super chat. And then we will, unfortunately, Francisco, you didn't put a question with it. Normally, you put them in and it would look like this, where you'd see these questions. So we have no question to answer. So thank you for that. But we can't answer if we don't have a question. I'm very sorry about that. And of course, I didn't mark the time down. So this is going to jump that thing way down. I'm not going to be able to find the question for a minute here.
It's at what is it? 10:09 your time.
Oh, thank you. And the one time I didn't mark the time, 10:09. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Perfect. And so let's do the inactives before we get this question. So, all right, Samaje Perine, as we know, was out with a high ankle sprain. Yeah. Is Chase Brown going to continue to get all the work? Or that's what I expect. Do you expect to see it the same way?
Yeah, I think so. I think there might be some hope and optimism for Taj, but I think overall, I think they trust Chase the most. And I would imagine, he's going to see a good 70 to 75% of the snaps, and whatever's left over will go to the other backup running backs.
Brian Thomas is expected out with a high ankle sprain for a second week in a row. Will we see him more? Jacoby Myers this week. He did have a touchdown unless he was called back on a penalty, and Parker Washington scored on the next play. So Myers was a bit involved in that first game a few days into his stay there.
Yeah, which is really interesting, right? So like he only played about 40% of the snaps too. So I would anticipate a full workload for him this week. Again, he got traded midweek. Yes. So I would imagine, again, no BTJ in this one. Obviously, Travis Hunter on IR. Look for Jacoby Myers to play a good 70 to 75% of the snaps this week and have a full complement of targets and all that kind of stuff. So, I really like Jacoby this week. So I think he's a perfect fit for what Liam Cohen wants to get done too.
And he doesn't drop the ball. Imagine a Jacksonville receiver who doesn't drop the ball. Imagine that.
Oh, my gosh. What would this offense look like, man, if these guys could just catch the freaking football? It's confusing for me.
Calvin Ridley is active with the hamstring. Had one good game. It was that crazy game where they were trailing late. I think it was Arizona. He put up like a bunch of late production, 5 for 122, I think. But otherwise, he's been a ghost. He's playing the great corners of the Texans. And so what do you say about Ridley and then Shamir Deacon, who didn't get many targets this week, but he was in a more of a prominent role when Ridley was out. So what about those two?
It's nice to have Ridley back actually for DK, right? Like DK is going to play primarily out of the slot. Ridley's going to play primarily outside. And I think it just takes away some coverage so they just can't pack that middle here just a little bit, right? So I think it actually helps DK just a little bit. I don't know. I don't have a lot of hope and optimism for Calvin Ridley. He's been playing, again, he just has not been engaged. When you watch him play, he just doesn't look engaged. Right. And Ridley has been known to have some effort, issues throughout his entire career. So I don't have great hope for him. But again, if you're in a 14-team league, or maybe you're in a really deep 12-team league and you got a lot of injuries, you roll him out and you hope for the best, because I think he truly is the number one there for Tennessee.
This has to be very shallow league because we need 3 of Lamb, Drake London, Abuka, and Rashee Rice. Who do you sit?
Amazing. If I am sitting one, I am probably sitting Abuka. And I don't feel great about it. I mean, Lamb's is a must start. I think at this point, Rashee Rice is a must start. Mm-hmm. And Drake London, they discovered a little something with him, right? Like if you throw him the damn ball, the offense moves.
right? Don't throw it to Mooney. Throw it to London.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, and the crazy thing is, Mooney still got his complement of targets too that he didn't catch, right? So, like, no, look, it's to me, it's Lamb, Drake London, and Rashee Rice. I think Abuka is great. I do like Abuka a lot, man. But again, if I had to pick 3, those are the 3 I'm going with.
When I look back, this may not be that deep of a league because you would have drafted Lamb and Drake London with your 1-2 picks. Sure. Abuka, you may have gotten in the 6th round or the 5th round, depending when you drafted.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
And then Rashee Rice, because of the suspension, you might have gotten him late too. So you really could have ended up with a superstar team with later drafts. And we got that super chat question, and we'll come back to 10-10.
There you go.
All right, let's get the super chat here. All right, Francis. So thanks for reposting that. Excellent. 2 questions. Flacco or Aaron Rodgers, same game. Both had gunslinger games the last time they played. For me, this one's easy. What do you think, James?
I'm probably going Joe Flacco here. I think both Aaron Rodgers and Flacco are strong plays. Rodgers did have 4 touchdowns against Cincinnati in their last meetup, right? So, he obviously can get it going. But man, Cincy's defense, oh God, what is going on there? They just don't have the personnel. The coaching hasn't been great this year. It's actually been a coaching downgrade. They got rid of their DC from last year because they thought it was the coach. It's not the coach, guys. It's the personnel. It's the personnel.
100% it is.
Yeah. So I'll go Joe Flacco here, and then I think I'm probably trusting Chase Brown.
I think so.
More than Rome Odunze, and I love Rome. But I probably trust Chase Brown just a little bit more.
It's been 100 scrimmage yards in his last 3 games. Like I keep telling people, teams got to play over the top against Cincinnati because those receivers. Chase Brown's back to the free yards. That's why we drafted him this year, because he was going to get that with Burrow. He's getting that same benefit with Joe Flacco. All right, back to 10-10 on this one. So let's find where we're at here. And we may have answered this one. No, we answered that one, so down to this one. Okay. James, we'll do 2 more, and then I'll let you bring home the mail the rest of the way. Dingo asks Bo Nix, Brissett, or Aaron Rodgers 4 points for a passing touchdown.
In this one, I think I am going Aaron Rodgers here. Bo Nix has been very up and down. Jacoby Brissett is out, multiple, top end receivers here. When you don't have Marvin Harrison, I think that lowers the ceiling here for Brissett as well. I'm going Rodgers here. Again, as I mentioned, against Cincinnati in their last meetup, he had 4 touchdowns. I'm not saying he's going to get to those heights again this week, but I struggle to see a game script where he doesn't, throw at least 2 touchdowns, which gives you a pretty safe floor, and he can't access that upside this week as well too.
4th and goal, and the Commanders go for it. Mariota wasn't even close throwing it to Zach Ertz. So tie game, 6 minutes left. The Dolphins have the ball deep in their own territory. James, before I go out, I want to remind everybody, free touchdown survivor contest, RotoWire, Splash Sports. If you're on YouTube, go to the link in the description. You'll find it there. Otherwise, you can go to the RotoWire X, get a direct link to join, or at my X at Jim Coventry NFL. And again, it's free to enter. Pick 2 players. One has to find the end zone. Over the course of the rest of the season, whoever survives, $5,000 in the trophy, smack winner to the ring to the winner. That sounds better. So make sure you get that. James Koh, appreciate you. Always great to see you. Have a great show.
Oh, man. Good morning to you, pal, and always great seeing you, buddy.
Thank you.
To talk about that touchdown survivor pool, it's so easy to play too, right? Like you pick 2 guys in an alternate. If they score a touchdown, you advance. If they don't score a touchdown, you're eliminated. But it's free to play. It's a fun little game, man. Actually, and as a matter of fact, I made a video about it. If you wanted to go to the RotoWire Instagram page, and I talk about my my 3 favorite touchdown plays this week. Chase Brown. Jamar Chase is on that list as well because Pittsburgh's been giving up a lot of production to the wide receiver position there. So yeah, Javonte Williams is another player that I think is in line for a touchdown as well. A really strong play this week at running back. Okay, we're moving on here. Guys, I apologize. I'm a little bit under the weather. It's been, rainy, wet, and cold conditions here in LA. My son is in kindergarten, and well, as you guys know, young kids, they bring home a lot of germs. Anyways, okay, neither here nor there. Rashid Shaheed, Troy Franklin, 1 point PPR. I think I'm trusting Troy Franklin here just a little bit more than Shaheed. Shaheed obviously has a huge competition for targets. Is he number 3? Is he, I'm not sure what's up with Torrey Horton, as a matter of fact. Where's Torrey Horton at? I got to look this up. Where is he playing today or no? Torrey Horton. Okay. Da. Well, I can't find any news on Torrey Horton right now. I don't think he's playing though, but we'll find out. Anyways, he's at best the number 3 option, right? In the passing game. And this is a team that still likes to run the ball with 17 different running backs. George Holani all of a sudden getting into the mix. God, kill me. But again, it's hard to trust Franklin. I don't see a lot of touchdown upside there. Charbonnet and all of a sudden George Holani got to get that rock around the goal line too. So I'm probably trusting Troy Franklin, who has led the Denver Broncos in targets and air yards the last 4 weeks over Cortland Sutton. So give me Denver's number 1 over Seattle's number 3-4. Okay, so yeah, I'll go that direction. Iron Eddie, PPR, you need to. Devontae Adams, Pickens, Chase Brown. I think if I'm picking 2 here, go ahead and give me. Oh man, I love all these plays this week. I think Devontae Adams super strong play. Pickens is a crazy good play against Las Vegas. Chase Brown, oh my gosh, how do you sit down Chase Brown against Pittsburgh? You can't do it. Well, for sure, we want to play Chase Brown. Let's just start right there. So I'll start with Chase Brown. You know what? Let me go to let's see what the point spreads and stuff are. Okay. The Rams. Dallas, Las Vegas, 50.5. So it's tied for the highest of the week with Cincinnati, Pittsburgh. A lot of touchdown upside here. Dallas anticipated points of 27. I think that's the highest of the week, if I'm not mistaken. No, second highest of the week, actually, with Buffalo at 27.5. But 27 points, implied total there for Dallas is a ton. I am so tempted to say Pickens. And the funny thing about Devontae Adams is he's been great, but the matchup is not as good. Seattle's obviously great defensively, and he is dealing with a little bit of an injury. And when he doesn't catch a touchdown, there's some concerns there. Bold call. I think most people will tell you Devontae Adams because of name value, because of matchup, and because of health. I'm actually going to say George Pickens, brother. So give me George Pickens, Chase Brown. Iron Eddie. I'm going to be thinking about this one. I'm going to be thinking about you, buddy. Hopefully I'm right here. I'm going to say Pickens over Devontae Adams. That one's tough. Okay, Daniel Moreno, QJ. You got to play J-Mo and Michael Wilson. Pick one, standard lead, already playing St. Brown. Okay, so you're playing St. Brown, so you're a little worried about playing J-Mo? It doesn't matter. I still got to play J-Mo there over QJ and Michael Wilson. By the way, QJ is one of my favorite sleepers this week. This is going to muck it all up, but I will say this. The Jags have struggled against outside wide receivers. Big time. They have given up the second most receptions, third most yards. They have given up the second most touchdowns per game to outside wide receivers. And Quentin Johnson is one of my favorite sleepers this week. Now, all that being said, Jameson Williams, they were so deliberate in getting him the football last week. It's really hard to sit him. I think QJ is a little bit more touchdown dependent this week, and I think Jameson has a really nice matchup too. So I will say J-Mo right there, not with a ton of confidence. Playing Philadelphia, oh man, That secondary play for Philly is pretty damn good, though, isn't it? Okay. You know what? Yeah, this one's tough too. Michael Wilson's got Dallas, but I'm not trusting Michael Wilson as much here. You know what? Give me QJ. You know what? Give me QJ. I'm going to flip it at the last second. Daniel, I apologize. Give me QJ right here. For all the reasons I just laid out. Man, JMO's so tempting, though. He had a huge game. They were so deliberate getting him the football. I think he'll, yeah. I like QJ. I like JMO too, but give me QJ just because of the matchup. Okay, Jay Sino. Should I start Dak or Stafford? In my flex, should I play Tet, Christian Watson, or Parker Washington? Okay, so we'll start a quarterback here. I feel the most confident with Dak. Las Vegas is not good defensively. Dak, I think, has been playing, masterful football. Obviously, last week or his last game out was tough. Stafford has been playing at an MVP level, but it's a tough matchup against Seattle. So I will take Dak right here. Not with a ton of confidence, but with some. I'll say 55% confidence, 55-45. I'm going to lean Dak right there. At the flex, I am going. Oh man, I either want to go Tet or Parker Washington. Oh man, this one again has got my brain in a little bit of a noodle. Chargers good defensively for Jacksonville, and then Tet, man, the quarterback play has been so bad, bro. So Carolina has got. Let's see here, where are we going? Carolina has got Atlanta. Atlanta, low-key, has actually been pretty good against wide receivers. But let me just look this one up. Okay, so real quick, I'm going to look up some stats here on Atlanta against outside wide receivers. They're middle of the pack. They have given up 8 touchdowns, though. That's tied for the 5th most in the NFL to outside wide receivers. And, primary wide receivers here actually have done okay. They've done all right. Tet in their last matchup had 7.8 fantasy points. He saw 8 targets, took home 3 for 48. Man, this one's tough. But you know what? I think I'm going Parker Washington right here. Go with the lesser player in a slightly better matchup. And I love Ted. I think Ted is such a good football player, man, which is why I struggle with this one. But the quarterback play has been really, really tough. So give me Parker Washington. Okay, we'll go there. Or Rory L., A.J. Brown, Chase Brown. What do we do with A.J.? I have A.J. Brown. What are we doing with A.J. Brown, chat? Chat, what are we doing, y'all? A.J. Brown, he met with Jeffrey Lurie. He met with the freaking owner. Talk about his frustrations on the football field. Who does that? That's crazy talk, man. That is wild to me. I would imagine they're going to be a little bit more deliberate at getting him the football, but you can't change this offense, dude. Like, A.J. Brown is running these, like, horrid outside X receiver routes. Like, generally I love outside X because that's where all the production usually comes from. But it's all deep downfield stuff. Like, it's all vertical, like comeback routes and, like, stop routes and stuff. Like, what? That's not good. He runs very few over routes. He runs very few dig routes. Like, those are the routes where guys are winning. If you watch Jamison Williams play outside X, it's all over routes. It's all dig routes. It's all in-breaking stuff. And yeah, he'll mix it up with a couple out routes and you get a couple deep shots for him. But his deep shots are like posts, right? Like, we're talking like deep post routes. Like, where are those for A.J. Brown? He doesn't have them. They're asking him to run outside X and just run the 9. So stupid, man. Like, Kevin Patilla's offense is garbage, man. Like, it's dumb. It's so Patillo's offense is, and I guess this is Sirianni's offense since they're boys, but like Sirianni's offense is like the Madden starter pack, like that's like the out of the box play set that you get when you try to start an EA Madden franchise. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to pay tokens to like upgrade. You know what I mean? Like, bro, it's horrid, man. I hate their offense, dude. I hate watching them play. Just everything about it is just, It's horrid. I can't watch it. Give me Chase Brown right here. Again, I think it should be a high scoring game. Vegas thinks it'll be a high scoring game. So I'll take Chase Brown. Long way of saying that. Jay Ceno. Sounds very much like John Cena, but welcome to the chat, pal. Should I start Kittle or Schultz? It's going to be Kittle for me. Brock Purdy's back, man. We're good. We're good with starting Kittle. Schultz is he's just such a boring player. I don't think he's great. They got the backup quarterback in there in Davis Mills. So we're good with Kittle this week. Okay. Vinny Burgundy. Yeah. What's up, brother? Odunze or Devontae Smith? Look, Devontae Smith has become the number one in Philadelphia. So there is a lot to be said right there. So Devontae, I'll say I am very close to saying Devontae Smith, but let me look up one thing here. Okay, so and by the way, Devontae's been playing a lot more outside as well. So he's taken on Detroit. Detroit against outside wide receivers has been very forgiving. They've given up the 10th most fantasy points to outside wide receivers. Question really becomes, where is Devontae Smith going to line up? That's where we're going to look here. Okay, well, what about Odunze? Man. Okay, let's see. Odunze is taking on Minnesota. And Minnesota is a very interesting team, right? Like Minnesota, it's all or nothing. Super high gamble. If he can make a big play, Odunze is going to be in a good spot. If he can't make a good play, he won't be. And to the point, right? Like Minnesota gives up over 10 yards per attempt to outside wide receivers. That's the third worst in the NFL. Yet they have given up the fewest receptions, right? To outside wide receivers because they've given up the fewest attempts to outside wide receivers. Why? Because it's a high blitzing style, and the coverages are really hard to read, right? So this one's an interesting one. If Odunze can make a big play, he's going to be in a good spot, and if he can't, he won't be in a good spot. Okay, let me look at some of these outside wide receivers. What have they done here? They limited Jamar Chase. A.J. Brown did have a big game against them earlier this year. J-Mo had a nice game against them. Zay Flowers put up double digits. Man, I don't know. I think I'm still golly. I'm feeling Odunze here over Devontae Smith, and Smith has been great. But I'm leaning towards Odunze here. Not great confidence, 51% confidence, 51-49. I'm leaning Odunze over Devontae Smith because I feel like narratively wise, maybe Devontae Smith sees a couple of fewer targets here as Philadelphia tries to get A.J. Brown involved. Just a touch more. Just a touch more. Fantasy Meatball. Good to see you, buddy. Okay. You need 3 wide receivers. What's KFFSC? What is that? Fantasy Meatball, give me some clarity here. What the hell does KFFSC mean? You need 3 wide receivers. DJ Moore, Parker Washington, Judy, Michael Wilson, and Adams. 425 start. Is he playing? Worry. For Devontae. I mean, they're saying Devontae's good to go. I don't know. I think he'll be fine. A lot of it just sounds like rest and maintenance, dude. So I'm not that worried about Devontae. I know some people are. I certainly am not. I don't know. Okay, so if I'm starting 3, I want to start Adams. I don't want to start Judy. Michael Wilson and Parker Washington are my calls here. Man, what do we do with DJ Moore? Like 1 week he gives you 25, another week he gives you 0. Dude, come on, man. We're definitely starting Adams of this group, though, for sure. And I definitely want to start Parker Washington of this group, for sure. So those are your 2. Of the third one, I think I'm starting Michael Wilson against Dallas. Dallas has been terrible. Michael Wilson's going to see a minimum of 8 targets. Minimum of 8 targets in this game. What does he do with those 8 targets? I'm not 100% sure, but we'll find out. So I think Adams, Parker Washington, maybe Michael Wilson here might be the call. I'm struggling between DJ Moore and Michael Wilson. It's definitely not Judy. Forget Judy, man. Like, great. He had 12 targets last week. Who cares? He still only caught 50% of them, man. Like, come on, man. I'm good. Dingo. Should I drop someone like Trey Benson or Brian Robinson Jr. to pick up a tight end? Can't you put Trey Benson on IR? I'm confused. I think you could. I mean, again, I think you could drop Brian Robinson unless you think CMC, unless you really want that CMC handcuff. Warren's on a bye. Freiermuth, I think, is a strong play. So is Fant. Dawson Knox is a good streamer as well. AJ Barner's a little too volatile, and Musgrave doesn't really do anything in that offense. So I think, yeah, if Warren's on a bye, you have to pick someone up. I'd probably drop Brian Robinson. And then hope you could pick him up after this week if you drop any of these other streaming tight ends, right? So, and if I'm picking one of those streamers, I feel the best about Freiermuth, but I think Knox is a really strong play too. Don't be surprised if they lean on Knox just a little bit more. Keon Coleman, a surprise scratch as well. So Freiermuth or Knox are my calls there. Fant is in a really, really good spot, but dude, he barely plays 50% of the snaps. And generally when I'm looking at fantasy tight ends, you got to get over 70%. And certainly Knox will, I think Knox will get there. And Freiermuth is around 60, 65%. So that's fine. Fant is playing about 50%, which gives me some pause. So either Freiermuth or Knox, I think, are your calls right there. And again, if I'm leaning somewhere, I'm leaning Freiermuth here, but I think Knox is a really strong play too. So yeah, I think you could drop Brian Robinson. If this is my team, I'm dropping Robinson. I'm picking up Freiermuth. And then after this week, I'm dropping Freiermuth and picking up Brian Robinson, if that makes sense. And not off waivers. Wait till he hits free agency. Derek Buck. Dak or Flacco? Man, this one's tough. Hard for me to get away from Flacco. Flacco's a little bit banged up. Better player, obviously, is Dak, but I think, oh, man, it's really hard to sit Flacco, man. I'm going to go Flacco. It is so hard to sit Flacco with Cincinnati's defense. This is supposed to be a high-scoring game. I'll take Flacco. As we know, though, Dak gives you a much safer floor. Much safer. So I will say Flacco, and I'll just chase the upside. Dingo again. You need 4. My man, I don't think you need 4, though. I would say this. I think you need like 1 or 2. Hey, and by the way, for the chat, y'all, like, again, help me help you. You know what I'm saying? Like, full names always help. Matchups always help. Helps me get through these chat questions a lot faster. And let's be real, you know, like, you're not really thinking. I hate setting full lineups. It just takes too much time. And again, I think you're really looking for like 1 or 2. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Hold on. Okay. Sorry. Had to answer this one real quick. Okay. Okay, let's get back to this chat here. Okay, so you need 4. If I'm starting 4, look, you're starting Zay Flowers for sure. I want to start Jacoby Myers for sure. Okay, so that's 2. Hard to get away from. I mean, of this group, it's hard to sit down AJ Brown. I see a lot of stuff about like, oh, should I drop AJ Brown? I'm always just like, what are we talking about out here? Like, what? No, we can't drop AJ Brown. Like, if AJ Brown's name was not AJ Brown, and let's just say it was like, I don't know, like, let's say it was Romeo Dobbs, right? And like, he's giving you what he's giving you. Are you dropping Romeo Dobbs? No, you're not dropping him. You put him on the bench. Sure. No, but you can't be dropping AJ Brown, man. Flowers, Jacoby Myers. I think AJ Brown. And I think I'm going with I know Dobbs is hurt a little bit. I still go Dobbs. Screw it. God, I love Ted McMillan though. I love Ted the player. You know, Ted's so good. He's so good. I love Ted the player. I hate his situation right now, but it's all good. So those are my 4. I think I probably sit down Ted, man. I don't feel great about that, to be honest with you, but I might sit him down right there. What is the over-under on this Green Bay game? Let me look this up real quick, and maybe that'll help me. Green Bay against the Giants. That's the thing. Like, you want to play them against the Giants. The Giants stink. Green Bay is anticipated to score 26.5. That's a ton. That is a ton. That being said, it's an 8.5-point spread. We're hoping Jameis can keep him in it, but I just don't know, man. Like, who are the wide receivers? No Darius Slayton. I think Isaiah Hodgins is getting the call up. Isaiah Hodgins wasn't even with his team last week, bro. Game script certainly says heavy run game script as Green Bay's an 8.5-point favorite. So, you know what, man? Screw it. Give me Ted McMillan over Dobbs. Again, I'll lean on some of this matchup data here. The Giants do suck against outside wide receivers, but that being said, this one looks like it might be a heavy run game script, so I don't know. We'll see. So give me Tet. Give me Tet right here over Romeo Dobbs. Okay. Kells, you started Trey Henderson. Good for you. CMC's your RB2 in Superflex. Wow. QB's Love It Hurts. Would you risk it? Start Jalen Warren over Love in Superflex? No, can't do it. I can't chase that. Give me that upside of a quarterback every single time, man. So we're good. David Pillsbury, you're a RotoWire member. All right, cool. You need 1 and 2 flexes. You definitely want to play Rashad White. Okay, and I think I want to play Vidal as one of my flexes. So you're playing Rashad White and Vidal. And then so I need to pick. I really don't care about Jerry Jeudy, y'all. And again, I'll go down with the ship, bro. Like if Jeudy ends up doing something, I'll go down with the ship. I don't care about Jerry Jeudy. They have him playing outside of his regular position. Like, they have him playing X receiver. Why? He can't beat press coverage. What are we doing out here? You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not that good against man. Like, he's just not a good separator, man. Like, I'm good. Like, if Jerry Jeudy does something and I look wrong, I'll go down with that ship. Dylan Gabriel? Oh God, no thanks, dude. I will take. I feel like Christian Watson's the call just because I want to chase a little bit of upside. David, that's probably where I'm going. I want to chase a little bit. Can Christian Watson hit 1 home run? And get you the points you need. I think he might be able to against this Giants secondary that is not very good, man. Spears is so interesting, but the offense overall is just not good, right? So like, and they're taking on Houston. It's supposed to be a super low scoring game. Houston's arguably one of the 2 best defenses in the NFL right now. I think I'm chasing Christian Watson upside, dude. Give me Rashad White, Vidal, and Christian Watson. Fantasy Meatball, Mims or Monangai? 16-teamer PPR. Oh, you get bonuses for big plays. I'm probably going Monangai here. Marvin Mims I think he's still dealing with some kind of injury, and he's honestly, I think they might be replacing him. Honestly, I don't have a great read on Mims right now. He's too gadgety, and you know, unless you're getting return yards, I just don't know if you're playing Marvin Mims. Unless there's another Mims I'm not remembering here, which is very possible. But we'll see. Okay, Kells. Jay Addison, JMO, Dubs, half PPR. Of this group, I don't know how you sit down JMO of this group. I like Dubs too. I really do. He's an underrated player, in my opinion. But yeah, go ahead and give me JMO of that group. That one's pretty easy. Wandier. Yeah. Start 2. ETN. Am I catching up here? Oh my gosh, I'm still an hour behind, dog. Oh my gosh. Okay, Wandier, start 2. ETN, Swift, Devontae Smith, Judkins. Did we answer this one? Okay, it doesn't matter. Who cares? Okay, so we want to play ETN. We want to play Swift. We want to play Judkins. Oh, I got to start 2. Oh, man. Okay, so you already had Henderson go off. You need a decent floor, half PPR. If you want decent floor, we're going Judkins here. I think he's just a rock-solid play overall. And let me give you some numbers here. Actually, I really can't give you numbers on Baltimore because they added all these pieces in the trade deadline. They're getting healthier. I think all their FPA stuff is just, it's irrelevant, to be honest with you. I think if we're going just straight up floor, I think we want ETN. If we want just straight floor, these are all pretty good. I'm not going to lie to you. I think of this group though, man, like if I just want to start two, I think I want to starting two. Okay, if I'm starting two, give me Devontae Smith and I got to start two. Okay, Devontae Smith and ETN are probably my calls here. So I'll go Smith and ETN. That running back trio right there is really interesting of Swift, Judkins, ETN. That's got to be a headache every single week, man. They're all so similarly ranked every single week, man. So I don't know. Yeah, that one's tough. That one's tough for me, but go ahead and give me Devontae Smith and ETN. Yeah, the Dolphins are playing like crap yet again. Last week's game against Buffalo was the biggest red herring, man. Like, where did that come from, dude? That was insane. Okay, I've got Achane and Waddle. They're both horrible so far. I feel bad for you, Frank. What's the box score looking like here? We're going to OT, I think. Yeah, I think we're going to. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I don't know what's going on here. Oh, we got a Hail Mary. Look at Miami trying to get a trick play going because Tua can't throw the ball downfield. That's funny. Okay, so yeah, we're going to OT, so maybe we'll get some more production there. Fantasy Meatball. In a half PPR, you need to Pearsall, Keenan, Michael Wilson. You know what's funny? I really want to play Pearsall this week. Got Brock Purdy back. Pearsall, I think, is the number one. They'll obviously incorporate Jennings here a little bit too. So I like Pearsall. And brother, I'll take Michael Wilson. I'll take my Campbell. I'll take my chances on Dallas's D. Why not? Give me Pearsall and Michael Wilson. Okay. Legacy. Tet or Vidal PPR? Give me Vidal. Vidal's been good every other week, which is really annoying, but I do think he'll be fine. David Pillsbury. I think we got this one, no? What? Maybe it's a different question. I think I see different players in here. Okay, one running back, two flex. One running back, you want to start Rachaad White, put him in that running back spot. Two flexes, Vidal for one for sure. And dude, don't make me pick between Spears, Judy, and DeMercado. Brother, of this group, I hate Jerry Judy. I really do, but I'll take Jerry Judy over Spears and DeMercado. I guess. I don't love it, but I'll take it. I think we're going Rachaad White in the RB1 spot, and Kamani Vidal and Jerry Judy are my two flexes there. Okay. Maya Ark. What's going on? Good morning. Montgomery Singletary, point per reception, point per first down, and you get bonuses for 40-plus yard touchdowns. Okay. Well, I'll tell you right now, I don't think either one's getting a 40-plus yard touchdown. Okay. I don't think slow-ass Montgomery and slow-ass Singletary are getting 40-yard touchdowns. That'd be funny as hell if one of them did, but I don't see it. I do not see it. I will take point per first down. Oh yeah, let's go with David Montgomery here. A lot more first down upside. I think they'll get similar snap share, similar carry opportunities as well. And listen, don't forget now, Tyrone Tracy did bypass Devin Singletary last week. I know Singletary outplayed and outsnapped, out-carried Tyrone Tracy that 1 week, 2 weeks ago. But Tracy reclaimed it. He's the better player overall. So I'm going to say David Montgomery in this scenario. Kells. Good morning. Oh, I took you off. Kells. Cade Otton. Colston Loveland. Who are we going with? To me, I think I'm going Loveland here. Otton, again, is one of these players. He's on the field a lot, but he doesn't have a lot of upside, bro. So give me Loveland. At least I could chase him upside here with Loveland. You know what I mean? All right, terrible two-step. Who'd you go with? Swift or Judkins at full PPR? That's the flex. Again, with that other question, this is kind of a nightmare because I think both of these guys are very volatile, not attached. Swift is attached to a much better offense than Judkins, obviously. So my initial gut reaction is I think I want to go Swift. Judkins is the much better player. So that kind of makes it a little bit of a pickle. Yeah, when I'm looking at this matchup, okay, what does Minnesota do against running backs? Let's take a look. Here we go. Minnesota. Let me get you some numbers out here. They've given up the 11th most rush yards per game, so that's pretty good. Their bottom half in explosive run rate allowed, that's pretty good. But they've only given up the 11th fewest fantasy points per game. Splitting time with Monungai. Gosh. I'm going to go, I think I'm going Judkins just because I think he's to me, he's the much better player. So, look, Baltimore has given up a lot of production to running backs. Again, I don't put a lot of stock into it right now because they made some trades. They're getting healthier. But if you do look, they have given up a ton of production to running backs and just everyone in general. So I'll go Judkins right here. Let's see if they can't lean on him just a little bit. And by the way, let's just see if Monungai doesn't start eating a little bit more into Swift's snap share as well, man. I'm curious to see what happens right there, too. Kells, Ricky Pearsall, Sean Tucker. Oh, Ricky Pearsall. Again, I talked about this with Jim, but I'm not really believing the Sean Tucker thing. You know what I'm saying? I'll go with Ricky Pearsall. I know he's coming back from injury, but screw it. Let's go. James Hernandez. You know why I'm saying screw it with Ricky Pearsall? Because the Shanahans, they can't help it. They have to, if a guy starts for them, there's no load management. There's no pitch count. Like, they don't care. They run their guys into the freaking dirt. They do not care, the Shanahans. It's like, if you're healthy enough to go, you're healthy enough to play 100% of the snaps. Like, that's how they operate. There is no rotation. CMC, older running back, like, has an injury history. Who cares? Play him 80% of the snaps. We're going. It doesn't literally run him into the ground. Who cares? Ricky Pearsall is going to get, I bet you anything, he's going to play 90 to 100% of the snaps. They just don't know any different. They can't help themselves. They literally can't help themselves. All they do is they get hyper-focused in on that one game. Screw the future. Who cares? One game, got to win this one game. Ricky Pearsall helps me win this one game. I don't care about load management. He's going to play 100% of the snaps. That's why I don't care that he's coming back from injury. You know what I mean? But anyways, okay, James Hernandez, Harvey or JMO, dude. Oh, Harvey White or JMO at the flex. I'm playing RJ Harvey. Obviously he's getting inserted into a starter's role here. When you look at the depth chart behind him, oh man, there's just not a lot there, man. Like, they got a practice squad dude. Tyler Beatty has 14 career carries. Tell me how RJ Harvey just doesn't see like a dominant 70% snap share this week. I'm struggling to see how that doesn't happen. And I know Sean Payton loves to mix in running backs, but there's just nobody else on the field that can make it happen. You know, I'll take Harvey. Oh, we got a super chat question. Okay, here we go. Where are we going? Okay. Scott Cobe. What's up, brother? Good to see you, buddy. Wandale or DK Metcalf? Oh, DK Metcalf. Against Cincinnati? Yeah. We're going DK. And look, I get it. The whole Jameis thing. Look, I'll say this. Wandale obviously gives you the best floor. Jameis is going to throw to him like 10 times. He's probably going to get like 7 catches on 10 targets for like 50 yards. You know? Best floor for sure. Like, he's giving you 12. right? Like he's giving you 12. Coming off the bus, he's giving you 8. Just lock it up. 5 catches for 30 yards out the gates. Now, again, what does he do on top of that? I'm not sure. But I'll take DK. I'll chase that DK upside because I think he has the best touchdown upside. Cincinnati's defense is really bad. DK has a really good opportunity to post a really, really nice game. So I'll take DK right there. All right. Sorry, guys. I really do. I have been struggling with this right now. So I just have to blow my nose, man. I do apologize. I'm going to mute this for 1 second. Sorry. I apologize. You guys had to see that. I've been having to blow my nose for like the past 30 minutes. So anyways, I'm struggling. A little bit sick, but that's okay. We're getting through it. So RJ Harvey, James Hernandez. Let's get to it. Okay. Where are we here? Hold on. We got it. Oh, here we go. Okay. Gene Griffith. Oh man. You sound like Gene Griffith absolutely sounds like a character from what am I thinking here? Harry Potter. Standard League. Oh, Dino League. No PPR. Okay, let's go. Standard League, you need 1 running back, 1 wide receiver, 1 flex from these 4. Oh, my gosh. Okay. Running back, Aaron Jones. Got to play him. He's got a great matchup against Chicago. 1 flex. Oh, this one's easy. We're sitting A.J. Brown. Oh, it's not even a question. Yeah, just sit A.J. Brown, dude. You're good. Yeah, give me George Pickens, Kamani Vidal, Aaron Jones. Yeah, easy. Max. Okay, I guess we got an overtime win. Yeah, we do. Miami. Congratulations. Now both teams are 3-7, I guess, in one of the most disgusting games. 16-13. Yikes. Okay. Jim. Yeah, great show content. I agree. Standard scoring. I'm not Jim. I can be Jim. I'm James. So I can be Jim, but I think you're talking about the other Jim. Standard scoring need to. Tet McMillan, DJ Moore, Jacoby Myers. Would you drop Moore or Myers for Trey Tucker? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't drop either one for Trey Tucker. No. You need 2. I'm definitely playing Jacoby, and I'm going to play Tet there. Give me the number 1 wide receiver versus the number 2 wide receiver. So give me Jacoby Myers, Tet McMillan. Of that group. Standard scoring, non-PPR, so it doesn't matter as much. Touchdowns are a little bit more valuable, right? Tet, I think, has a better chance at a touchdown. DJ Moore, doesn't matter. Give me Tet McMillan. I'll take him over DJ Moore. Jeremy Al-Karayan? I don't know what that says. Need 2. Standard League. Man, y'all playing these non-PPR leagues, bro. I love it. RB slot and a flex spot. Kamani Vidal, Chase Brown, Roma Dunze, Abuka, T. Higgins. Oh my gosh. What a lineup this is. This is stacked, y'all. Okay. Of this group, give me Chase Brown. For sure. Put him in the running back spot. Now I need to pick a flex. Oh my God. Making me pick a flex out of these guys. Are you kidding me? I'm either leaning Vidal or T. Higgins here. And you know what? Screw it. Give me T. I think T gets it going against Pittsburgh secondary, which has not been good this year. Not been good at all. So give me Chase Brown, T. Higgins. I know they're on the same team. Who cares? I don't really care. I think they'll both be fine. So Chase Brown, T. Higgins. If you don't want to play 2 guys on the same team, because I do think Chase is a must start for you there at the running back spot. I could be my secondary choice would be Chase Brown and Vidal. But yeah, that group is tough, man. But I'm leaning Chase Brown, T. Higgins in that one because, again, it's supposed to be a really high-scoring game, the highest scoring game of the week. And yeah, I'm not, like I said, I'm not 100% sure what that split is going to look like, but I think both guys can go off, to be honest with you. I do. David Pillsbury, RotoWire member. David Pillsbury, good to see you again. Tight end Schultz, Edwards. Edwards? Bro, who the hell is Edwards? Am I tripping? Dog, I don't know who the hell Edwards is. Johnson or Otten? Okay, we're moving on because there's too many Johnsons, brother. Okay, Vinny Burgundy, Franklin or Dubs? I'll take Franklin over Dubs, honestly. I like the usage here. They've got him playing. Well, he's been leading the team in targets and air yards over the last 4 weeks. He's kind of sort of emerged as number one there in Denver. But that being said, I kind of wish they stuck him more in the slot like they were earlier in the season. They've been playing him, kicking him outside here a little bit more to get Pat Bryant some more looks as an inside wide receiver, and I don't think that's been working that good. I think Franklin was better as a speed slot guy than as an outside like flanker dude. Sutton's still playing the X. I don't know why I said X. Franklin as this like outside flanker guy, some X stuff too, but mostly on the flank, and he just hasn't been as good. But I don't know. I'll still take him over Dubs. Yeah. I just like the overall target share and air yards and all that kind of stuff for Franklin. Okay. This is from ETW Burn, Chase Brown, Swift, or Rashad. Man, y'all have too many similar teams, man. Like, it's so interesting. You guys with similar teams have so many questions, which is, I get it. I mean, these guys are all in the same bucket of player. You know what I'm saying? I'm going Chase Brown of this group. Again, high scoring game, a lot of touchdown upside, a lot of touchdown exposure, I should say, for Chase Brown. So go ahead and give me this dude. I will take Chase Brown here over Swift and Rashad White. Jeremy, second wide receiver slot, standard league, Ibuka or Odunze. Worried about the weather in Buffalo. Is there bad weather? Dude, I didn't even check that, man. NFLweather.com. Hold on, where are we at? What is the weather in Buffalo? Okay. It's supposed to be overcast. There's no slight chance of snow shower. So maybe we see a little bit of snow. I see the wind gust up to 30 miles per hour. I see. Okay. Yeah, that's problematic. I'm more worried about wind than I am about snow. Because it's not rain, I don't think. It doesn't say it's rain. So yeah, this is interesting. The wind is interesting. I didn't know that about the wind. Interesting there in Buffalo. Tampa Bay. I mean, the thing about both these quarterbacks, though, is that they both got guns. Like, Baker can sling it. Obviously, Josh Allen can sling it. So I think the weather will be a little bit less of a concern, to be honest with you. Ibuka or Odunze. To be honest with you, I think either way, I'm still starting Odunze. Let's go with Odunze right here. The matchup against Minnesota is high risk, high reward. Let me just put it that way. High risk, high reward. Okay, we got 10 minutes to go. Bro, I cannot be this far behind. Am I? Holy hell, I am, dude. Listen, chat, I'm telling you right now, I'm going to get to a lot of these questions. Let's go. I got 10 minutes. We're ripping. Full PPR, you need a wide receiver and flex. Rashad White, yes. You need a wide receiver 2 and a flex. Wide receiver 2, play Rashad White. Flex, we're playing. Dude, give me QJ. Let me chase that upside, dude. Harlington Rodriguez, good to see you this morning, pal. Tez or Trey Tucker for the flex. Give me Trey Tucker against Dallas's D. Arthur Nunez, Charbonnet or DeMercado. God, so annoying. Charbonnet is the most annoying player in all of fantasy football, dude. I'm going to say, screw it, dude. Give me DeMercado, better matchup. And again, Charbonnet's 100% touchdown dependent. He just keeps scoring touchdowns, which is just so damn annoying. Unless you're a Charbonnet guy. I don't know. Maybe you love Charbonnet. Maybe you love UCLA. I don't know. But give me DeMercado. I'll take DeMercado right there. T-Dob, Judkins, Etienne, or Vidal in a PPR. You need 2 of them. Okay, so in this setup, give me Damn, I don't want to sit down ETN. I'll take ETN and Vidal. Again, just give me the better offenses. I'll take the running backs attached to better offenses in ETN and Vidal. I love Judkins, the player, though. Sauce, God, Trent, Theo Johnson, Cade, Dalton Schultz, PPR. Does the weather in Buffalo help Otten for short checkdowns? No, I don't think so. Not really. If I'm picking one, give me Theo Johnson. Give me the Jameis effect. Give me the Jameis effect. He's the best. By the way, he's the best player of this group too. The best athlete of this group. Give me Theo Johnson. I'm not even thinking twice about that one. I want Theo Johnson 100% for sure. Marvin, Dowdle, and Tez, or Javonte and QJ. Trade, should I? This is a very... What are we doing out here, dude? We're going Yoda? I'm going full Yoda? We're talking like Yoda now? Do I want Rico and Tez, or do I want Javonte and QJ? I think I want Javonte. Yeah, I want Javonte and QJ. Better offense for Javonte. QJ is in about the same offense as the Buccaneers. But yeah, give me Javonte. I'll take Javonte over Rico Dowdle. Javonte is the clear-cut number one guy, number one starter, scoring a bunch of touchdowns. Rico Dowdle's still in a split. I mean, somewhat of a split. I think he took home like 65%, maybe even 70% of the snaps, which is dominant. But I'll still take Javonte here. I'll take Javonte and QJ. Just traded Bajan for Lamb and Rashad White. Oh, that's interesting. An interesting trade. Starting Rice, Lamb, Kyron, Dowdle, and Brown. Okay, cool. Dubs and Pearsall, Myers, PPR. Dubs? Okay. Oh, give me Pearsall. I think that's the question you're asking. Jose Avalos. Who should I start at wide receiver? Michael Wilson, AJ Brown, Keenan Allen. Need one. At RB, who should I start? Swift, Henry, or White? You need one. I mean, listen, dude. I'm still starting Derrick Henry. I don't care. I mean, of that group, well, give me Derrick Henry. Not a question in my mind. At wide receiver, God, my heart wants to say like hero call Michael Wilson, but I think it's still AJ Brown. I mean, they're kind of the same player at this point from a fantasy perspective. From a fantasy only perspective, they're about the same player. Give me the guy with better upside in AJ Brown. Delroy Scarlett, full point PPR, Ricky Pearsall, Christian Watson, Pearsall. Again, Brock Purdy back. He's probably going to play like 100% of snaps, bro. I'm good. KJ Frederick. Okay, here we go. I am catching up here. Okay. Need to start one running back, one flex. RJ Harvey must start. Yep, we're starting him at running back. Okay. Then at flex, are we starting Vidal, Watson, Michael Wilson, Tyler Lockett? Oh, give me Vidal of this group, dude. Best floor, best upside combination. Tony Wald Schmidt. Schmitty, what's up? I can only start two. QJ. What? QJ Brown's running back? Or RJ Harvey or Jawan Jennings? I'm so confused, dog. What are you saying here? QJ Brown's running back. Oh, Quinshon Judkins. Dog, can y'all hit me with some full names? I got to be out here decoding shit like QJ Brown's RB? What? Okay. You're starting two. I need to start RJ Harvey for sure. Jawan Jennings gets cast aside here a little bit. Give me RJ Harvey and Judkins. Yeah, that one's easy. Oh, we got a super chat question at the buzzer. Automouse. Automoose? I don't know. Henry, I love the profile pic though. Henry, Vidal, or ETN. Pick one. Dog, I cannot get away from Derrick Henry. I just can't do it. And I know that he has been, whatevers, but I mean, these other players have also at different points in the season been whatevers, right? But I don't think anybody has the upside of Derrick Henry. And I get it. Like, he has been blah, but I'll still lean on Derrick Henry and hope for the best here. Okay, here we go. I don't even know where I'm at in this whole deal. Okay, here we go. Francisco Marquez. 2 questions. Joe Flacco versus Pittsburgh. Aaron Rodgers versus Cincy. I want Joe Flacco. Okay. Over Aaron Rodgers. Chase Brown or Romo Dunze. First of all, I love the format of the question. Thank you. Okay, so Joe Flacco for sure. And then I will take Chase Brown. Yep. Easy call for me. Okay, Jordan Arhart. Trade Sutton for Woody Marks. Yes. If you're getting Woody, I'm always taking positional value over that wide receiver. So, yeah, I'll take Woody Marks over Courtland Sutton. As I mentioned, Courtland Sutton has been kind of sort of replaced as the number 1 there in Denver by Troy Franklin. I don't know. We'll see. Who do I start out of Vidal, Woody, and Harvey? RJ Harvey's a must for me. I think RJ Harvey's an absolute must. I really like Vidal too. Woody Marks probably 3rd of that group. Actually, Woody's probably 2nd of that group because he's playing Tennessee, and Tennessee absolutely sucks at stopping the run. Okay. AJ the Great, good morning. Full PPR. Wide receiver 2, flex. Wide receiver. Okay, at the flex. Well, we want to get Rachaad White in there. So get Rachaad White in there. And then I will go with... I'm going to go with an upside. No, you know what? Give me Jacoby Myers. I'll take Myers right there. Rachaad White, Jacoby Myers. Jacoby gives you a good floor upside case as well. Harlington is back. Sleepers! Let's go. Oh, perfect day for Sunday football. I couldn't agree with you more, my friend. Appreciate you watching all my videos, man. Otten or Ferguson? Oh, Ferguson, easily. Otten is fine. He's fine. He's a guy. I'll take Ferguson. Harlison Rodriguez, Tez or Trey Tucker for the flex. I'll take Trey Tucker against Dallas, man. Obviously, they struggle mightily defending outside wide receivers. They've given up the most fantasy points per game to outside wide receivers. Somebody's out. I don't know who it is. Wandale, Candace, good morning. Wandale or Woody Marks? I'm going to go Woody Marks right here, even though, like I said, I think Wandale gives you a really nice floor. So Woody Marks for me. Tennessee's run defense is horrendous. Della Jeezy. You're just here for the vibes? Okay, that's cool. You bench Henry for Ginty. I don't hate it, man. Like, I get it, you know? I totally get you, brother. Della Jeezy, we appreciate you jumping in, bro. E. Jimenez. Full PPR pick 2. Harvey, got to play him. I'm playing Harvey and Vidal. That one's easy for me. Give me the 2 guys that I think are going to touch the ball the most. 21-12. Full PPR, Rachaad White or Woody Marks. I mean, this Houston game is supposed to be pretty damn low scoring, guys. I'm a little scared of it. But that all being said, I think I might still take Woody. Tennessee's run defense has been atrocious. And Woody Marks, I don't know if you guys remember this, but he scored 2 touchdowns against them last week, or the last time they played. He scored almost 28 fantasy points in PPR. You email Ben, Addison, RJ Harvey. Not even a question in my mind. With JJ McCarthy slinging rocks into the dirt? Nah, we're good, dude. Washington, Lockett, or Aaron Jones? Washington. Okay, Parker Washington. Aaron Jones for me. Aaron Jones. Give me the guy. He's got a great matchup this week against Chicago, who struggles to contain running backs. Cut A.J. Brown. No, you don't cut A.J. Brown, dude. Tyjae Spears or Sean Tucker. Terrible choices. I agree. Give me Sean Tucker over Tyjae Spears. I don't want Spears against Houston, man. Houston's the best. Aiden Gallegos. Konos. I appreciate you. Woody Marks. Yes, Woody Marks. Give me Woody Marks right there, guy. I hope I got that in time. I see. HST something or other. Okay, got it. High stakes tournament style. Got it. KFFSC is a high-stakes tournament. Okay, got it. In Kentucky. Okay, I got you now. Okay, I got you. Mordenheim, Tet or Rashad? I'm going Rashad right there. I don't know if I got this in time. Dylan, what's up, man? I appreciate you jumping into the chat, man. I apologize if I didn't get this one in time. Michael Wilson, DeMercado, Jerry Judy. If I had to pick one guy of this entire group, it's definitely not Judy. And these other guys play in the late window, so hopefully I did get this one in time. I'm going to say Michael Wilson, who I think is going to see 8 to 10 targets in this one. Judy or Ricky P? Ricky Pearsall, 100% for sure, no question in my mind. T-Dob, Vidal, Judkins, ETN, and PPR, you need 2. I don't know if I got this one in time. I would have said Vidal and ETN. Oh, man, it's Papa Greco. What's going on, brother? Good to see you, pal. How do I feel about Michael Wilson today? I feel good. I feel good about Michael Wilson. Taking on Dallas. Going to see 8 targets in this game. Let's go. Super nice. First of all, great handle. Super nice. I see you, bro. Rodgers or Brissett? I would have said Rodgers. Hopefully I got that. Hopefully you got Rodgers in there, man. Marvin Kano. Trade Dowdle and Tez for Javonte and QJ. Like I said, I would have rather had the Javonte QJ side, to be honest with you. Hey, man, I appreciate you, Fantasy Meatball, for jumping in, dude. All right, good luck to everyone here in Week 11. I know we're past this stage here. I apologize. I should have got some more questions. I went on a random rant. I also got in a little late today. Usually I get in a little bit earlier, get a few more questions in. I apologize, man. I wish I got to more. Golly, I can't believe I didn't get to as nearly as many as I wanted to. But anyways, I appreciate everyone out there, man. I'll try to get, shoot. I could even get through some of this, bro. Like, okay. Well, yeah, sorry, guys. It's just too late, man. Dude, again, that's on me. That's on me. Next week, I swear, we're going through. I'm catching up next week, y'all. I got in too late. Next week, I'm coming in early. Next week, I'm going to get in here early. I got in here late. I worked late last night. I work late every night on Saturday. I'm a college football analyst for my local LA affiliate here, and I work till like 10, 11 o'clock at night, my time, and I'm feeling a little under the weather too. You know what I mean? Anyways, if y'all would like and subscribe, that would be awesome. That'd be cool. And if you guys want to follow me on social media, you can do that as well. I'm available all week if you ask me questions via DM or if you at me or whatever. You could find me at James D. Koh. I do a pretty good job answering as many questions as possible during the week as well. I don't get to 100%, but I try to clear 75% of the questions that I get. I try to. Not always the best, but we try. Anyways, throw it my way, and we'll get it going there. But follow me on social media at James D. Koh, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Blue Sky, Threads. It's all the same, at James D. Koh. Same bat channel, same bat time next week. I appreciate everyone out there, man. Good luck. Hopefully you guys score all the fantasy points here in week number 11. Go get those dubs, man. Go get those dubs. All right, man. We'll see you. Peace.